Going on? Yes, we are surrounded fully by not bright people, not intelligent people. How to exist in this whole thing? How, how do how do you be friends with somebody that's insanely not there? Like, yeah, not intelligent people. If they're younger, you could teach them. But I'm talking about non-learners, people that are so certain that they're right when they're very wrong, and that they're willing to what is called doubling down. They're willing to double down on their ineptitude, but they don't know it. They don't know it. They think they're right. Surrounded by the goofiest, most ill-equipped, mentally challenged people. They're everywhere. They were always there. They were always there. But now it's right there. It's to see it. It's like you can't not see how without brain these people are. And the frustrating part isn't that there are so many dumb people. It's that they really think they're the smart ones, and they really believe that people like me are a stumbling dummy. I'm an idiot. They really think that. To which each one of them sit down and have a conversation with me. See if you can handle it, because your brain would explode because you wouldn't be able to answer any question I ask. Or you go talk to somebody. Their brains just start to overheat because they can't because they have no. It's like their logic board. If they were a computer, their logic board is toast. There is no logic. There's no reasoning, and they'll double down on their foolishness. It's great. How you guys doing? It's me, Zen. It's you over there. How you feeling? Nice to see everybody. What's up? Who's up in here? I don't know that. What's up, Rebecca? Yeah, I kept pushing back the hour, the time. I do this often because I'll be doing something and then I'll have a call or something to answer, or I'll get stuck doing something and I push it back and then I'm like, ah. But here I am. What's up, Dimension? If you're here, what's up, Divine? Rebecca is here. Oh, there's Skull. What are you doing, man? Um, I'm bright and shiny. I was up early. I was gonna do a show this morning when I got up, and then I had some things to do. But here I am now. I made some. How do you say it? It's cold. It's cold potato soup. It's vishesse, vishwaswa, which is fantastic. It's a magical thing. I was gonna use the mashed potatoes for a base, uh, for making some gumbo, and then I didn't feel like going to the store, so I was not able to get the rest of the things for gumbo. So, anyways, I made mashed potatoes, and then the next day turned them into vichyssoise, or however you say that thing. Quite tasty, and I had a little bit of. So I made it with onions. So what I do is when I make the mashed potatoes, I add the onion, the garlic, and some jalapeno, and then you add the chicken or veggie stock, or in this case, I made mine using some beef stock. Yeah, it was quite interesting. But yeah, anyways, that's what I just did. That's what I had for breakfast. What's up, Christopher? Yeah. See, as per usual, I'm you're just confronted with the goofiness, and more and more, it's just like what else, you got to laugh at it. You got to make the only thing left is to laugh at this. It's so insane. What do people gonna be mad? You mad anymore? You guys mad? I mean, there's got to be things to be mad about, certainly, but. You mad about a plane crash or a boat sinking that you can't do anything about? You can't really be mad at it. In fact, you can laugh at it. You can laugh at this Titanic sinking. How's that? Has it been long enough? Can we laugh at that yet? Hey, England, go Great Britain. How's that work? Is Britain the whole thing, and then Britain's part of it? How does that all work? Is England in Britain and Great Britain's the bigger? I don't. That's good though. Great. Happy for you guys. Um. Oh, you're gonna start making videos again? Oh yeah, I'm down. I will. You find something you kind of like, and if you like it, sure. And if you want me to make something specifically, and you have an idea, yeah, I would definitely make you some music, or you could have whatever I've made. Sure. Not Scotland, for not the oil. Yeah, I'm trying not to get too caught up on the news, the good or the bad things, because obviously they use some perceivable good things to usher in some more draconian, ridiculous, fascist measures. So on those, I try. It's just like the compliments, and when people insult you or they compliment you, you try to just take the middle line. When if you hear good news or bad news, it's the old story about the horse that they're trying to break for the village, and then the kid gets hurt, and then you know that story. Good, bad, who knows? But I will I will attempt to while it the good news is there to go. Hooray! Still burping though. Still burping. Yeah, I mean, watching the news is as superfluous as listening to gossip. Although some of the gossip gets something accomplished or not accomplished. There's that's part of it too. So many things are enacted and put into place because of tragically faulty information, which oftentimes is gossip and just hearsay. How many things are just like, well, let's implement this because of this, and has no. It's a non sequitur. People understand what a non sequitur is. People have this sense of they say they make an equation, and then the logical conclusion isn't there. They use something like, oh, because my house flooded, the barn with all the turkeys in it caught on fire. Like, there's no connection whatsoever. It's like this is what people do. And then when they're making that statement, they'll double down on how stupid it is by trying to make some rational, logical connection to this equaling that. And it sounds so silly, but but that's how it works in their wacky, wild brain. I'd seen a video earlier of a bunch of people in I forget where it was. It was perhaps England somewhere, one of those places. And they were taking all of their TVs and throwing the TVs into someone's yard that was like the prime minister or whatever, like somebody in politics. And in one sense, good on them. But in another sense, I feel like that's cutting off your nose to spite your face, because as I've always said, information and television and movies and it's not bad. A lot of it is garbage, but observing and seeing that the garbage, you know what you're gonna have to listen to and be presented with. And there's plenty of good things on there. There's plenty of positive things that you can find. There's a lot of good movies. So it's like throwing your TV out. Like you bought it, now you're throwing it in someone's yard. Like at least sell the thing. I mean, and then you just don't have a TV. I don't know. It's like, oh, I hate having a phone. The phone is so troublesome. It's garbage. It's always on the phone. Just throw the phone out. Like that's literally the definition of cutting off your nose to spite your face. Then you get nothing that good would come of it, because you can only observe the bad of it. And I think that's kind of silly. I mean, if you've lived most of your life without a TV and you don't use it, you don't see the purpose, good for you. You don't necessarily need it. There's plenty of people live a life without books. They don't need it. I mean, I get it, but having a equating the fact that you own a TV to say I'm not going to have this TV anymore, it's evil, is kind of like it's like burning your hand on a pot and then throwing the pot out, and then you can't cook food no more. It's equivalent. And the prime directive of the Illuminati is to ensure the continuation of the human species. I would assume that to be true. Just like everybody, there's like an anti-Hollywood, anti-Illuminati. Here, let's get some fun colors on there. Boom, boom. Ooh, what is this? What is this one? Oops, sepia. No. No. Which one's this? This one's fine. Try this out for a little bit. Yeah, so I think so. I'd agree with it. Just like to say all Freemasonry is bad, all the Illuminati is bad, I don't see it. It's just because again and again, just because these things have been infiltrated with people that are out for self and ill-gotten gains and da. Just because that exists doesn't mean as a totality. Just like the totality of a TV, the totality of even the organizations that we could equivocate to being very bad pharmaceutical companies, there's a good to it. There is something that is needed and good for the society. I mean, how far it's gone, no. There's lots of garbage in it. But attributing all of the downfall of culture, civilization, and thing to a specific group, even if it were like, I mean, there might be some groups that is their goal, but I don't think we would know who they are. And it's just like saying, oh, the most confusing part that I can't understand people's logic is that they know that the media and Hollywood are part and parcel of the same game, yet they believe what the media says about people in Hollywood, as if it's not just stirring up your emotion. Like if they say something like, oh, Fauci was keeping dogs alive and sticking needles and flies in their eyes for experiments. Now, granted, he seems like the kind of guy to do that, but I don't know him, and I don't know that to be true. Is it ridiculous? And if that was true, like, why isn't... They'll just give you the information. Why then all the other people know that that's happening? Why didn't they do anything about it? Because they're not. Either it didn't happen or they're not going to do anything. And just so you can have something to go, oh, you hear about this? They have an island over here where they jack off antelopes and cut their heads off and have an orgy with blood all over them and like... Okay. So they told you they're doing that. So now you believe them. So now you're just like, you're so many steps removed from whether or not that happened. It's regardless if it did. It sucks if it does. But I would say most times it's probably not happening. And the only thing that is happening is you're engaged with it so much that you go, oh, the humanity of it all. Those are the ones we must hate, and people in these clubs and so I don't see it. Especially like, if they were the illuminated ones, they probably know something that you don't know. Because you can't understand the ways in which they work. Just because somebody says I am the Illuminati, or somebody goes, oh, they're the Illuminati and they're doing the evil thing, doesn't necessarily mean that is the person or that is the modus operandi. It doesn't necessarily mean such. Yeah, you got to find the boogeyman. You got to find somebody to pin it on, and it's usually a group, right? It's easy to do. It's them. It's that group. Granted, no doubt, there are some really effed up evil people in corporate environments in certain structures with ill intention, but even some of them really think they're doing the good thing. People that are into the scientific community, that are doctors and that are nurses and that are scientists and whatever. They really truly believe that what they're doing is a good thing. They're misguided, but nonetheless, the information that was presented to them, that they worked with, that they give you information about, isn't always encouraged by the money, they still would believe in it. They still believe in the idea. So it's not like they're just out there going, yes, we're gonna. It's like these people that believe in, stabbing people and giving them drugs. They really believe in it. Perhaps they might be ignoring other aspects of the scientific method and other studies and other research and whatever. Of course, they could be doing that and ignoring it. But some of them actually believe in what they're pushing, they're peddling. I would side with my man Robert Anton Wilson. He said, if anybody is the Illuminati, I am the Illuminati. My friends are the Illuminati. He wrote the Illuminatus trilogy. Isn't that what it's called, the Illuminatus trilogy? Yeah. As far as I can see from whatever beyond his writing, if looking at what he's done and what his ideas were, pretty cool dude, pretty nice guy, pretty good out. There's a lot of the. So I would stick with that. I'm Illuminati. What you think about that? I got the T-shirt. How do you feel about it? What you think? Now all of a sudden, oh, he's in the wrong club. I'm Illuminati. I'm a luminary. So, do with it what you must. Yeah, TheoLuminous. It's in my name. Didn't you know that's my name? TheoLuminous. What do you think it means? Yeah, that is just a standard thing that people do. They have to find the thing, the group, the one that is that's the reason. Now, grant again, and I will reiterate this: there are oftentimes there is a point to there is that entity, there is that perhaps a person, perhaps an organization that their goal is I want more. That would be mine. You take care of yourself if you buy my product and you do this thing, and I will try to influence you to do this thing that's no good for you, but it will help me. There are those people, but it's not as the widespreadedness of it is because of the people that are the underlings, the secondary characters, the pawn that are working for that they don't know about it. That's the dilemma. They're not really, and they're bought into it because they don't know any better. That's the major, that's the force that we really, as humanity, as a species, individually, the collective. That's what we have to work. That's what we're. I don't want to say fighting against, but that's what we have to. That's our challenge. It's not the people at the top. You never meet them. You don't interact with them. It's the peons beneath them that they won't be, they can't be educated. Divine, interesting. Yeah, I would assume some. You got to throw it into the bag. You got to throw it into the mix. Are they perhaps robots? Are they perhaps from another realm? Are they perhaps CGI? Like those three are possibilities. Are they wearing costumes, prosthetics? It's quite unknowable. I mean, I assume if you met the person, then you could. If you jumped on a spaceship with them, if you got on a boat with them, and went to the other lands, then you could know. But as a totality, we individually, these ideas that we think we have, we know nothing. You know nothing. You know you know nothing. Like of anything. The only thing you know really is the experiences that you've had that you can verify for yourself. There's not too much that you know that you can verify. It's very minimal. Everything else is speculation. Everything. I mean, we can make assertions and make these assertions that it appears and seems as such, and we can make quality decisions based on those things, and oftentimes we might be right, but as a totality, we know just about nothing. Rebecca, what do you mean? Are you so taken by them, and why? What do you mean taken by? Taken by who? I mean, people are more taken by ideas that they are unverifiable, which again happens to be most everything. It's like the idea of the more you know, the more you don't know. In that statement is you come to the conclusion like, well, you really don't know that, do you? I don't know. You've probably known people you don't know. I don't know what half of people. I don't know 90% of the people that I know. I don't know what they do for a living. I don't know how they. I don't go to their job. I don't know what they do. I don't know their work. I don't know. I don't know the intricacies of. If I wasn't a plumber, and I'd never plumbed, I wouldn't know how to do it. I could guess. I mean, I do know how it works, but you have people. Whenever I used to build houses, I had people like, "Well, why is that going to take so long? That shouldn't take that long. You just need to do this." I'm like, "You have no clue what you're talking about. You've never built a house. You have no idea everything. You haven't explained everything that goes into doing this and why it's going to take an extra 20 hours." Well, I just want this. I want the faucet moved over here. I was like, "Well, here's the reasons. You think it's just pick the faucet up and put it over here." Not understanding that now I got to cut the wall out here. I got to move the pipes behind the wall. I got to add to that. I got to cut a new hole here, patch this hole. They don't get all that. They just go, "Oh, you just got to move that," because they don't know how anything works. They don't know what it is. What's up? No idea. Yeah, that's right. I had no idea. You can like even like right now I could tell you I'm drinking a vodka and cranberry. I can tell you that. Do you know? Do you really know? You don't really know. I can show you the bottle. Do you really know what's in there? Mm-mm. You can make best guesses. And here's an easy way you can make an educated guess on that. Stick around and let's see when I start slurring my speech, and you can figure it out. But then I could just be playing. I could just be playing with it. It's this thing about reality. To stay interested in all of reality, but ambivalent to it. Ambivalent to what's going on. You can't take too much. You can't take too much stock in anything, because as everything is always changing and morphing, and we're not really sure about this, and how you have to be ambivalent. You have to do this thing. You have to go, I don't know. I don't really know. What do I know? You can know what you know. You can, you have firm foundation, and I know something. But all in all, you have to be somewhat, the words ambivalent. Is he a robot? Is he stuttering because he's a fool, or is he kidding around, or did the computer go offline there for a second? He said, "Give you one, like one of these. You want a vodka and cranberry?" I'll make you a drink. And thank you to whoever gave me some ducats the other day. It purchased me another bottle. So this will be keeping me highly lubricated and motivated. And I need to go get a mixer because it's not over here. So if you would like to, you can give me a moment to go grab some ice cubes and a mixer. So a minute. Bye. See you in a second. And I am back. All right. What do we get into here? Ambivalence. I think the reason that we need to stay that way is because you can't get too emotionally caught up and involved in people's ideas and what's going on, because people are so misanthropic and what's that word? Bonkers, cuckoo, not so insane, beyond the pale, left field, ridiculous, absurd, retarded, crazy, not so. You know what I mean? Those kind of people. Most people are. As I redundant on my earlier statement of we just get to see how many people are clowns, that their brains don't work. And again, whenever I say these things, I'm not going like they're choosing to be that way. I get it. Most people, it's not their fault. They've been trained to be such, and it's strange that some people. To me, it's strange that some people aren't like that. It's like, your magic spell didn't work on me. Your magic spell didn't work on us. How did that happen? How did it happen to everybody else? But it appears there are people that can see through the bullshit. How does that happen? Because in the way I would see it is, if it's working on everybody, if it's working on some people, it should probably, everybody went through the same type of school systems or influences from their parents, the governments, the media, like for the most part. And if you lived in a small town, rural area, you were homeschooled, you might escape that. But I didn't. How did I get outside of that? What was different? What was the anomalous things that occurred in my world, my views, my interactions, that caused me to go, oh, feeling like Neo? You can see right through the Matrix. What happened there? And if I can, then why isn't everybody else? Uh-oh, here goes. Oh man, I hate when that happens. There we go. When you have to sneeze and then you don't. Oh, whew, that was so good. That was like a little miniature orgasm. Sneezes are great. A little orgasm in your brain. Anybody get that feeling? Does everybody like sneezing? It's great. No idea. Meditation and self-awareness. Yeah, but see, self-awareness, that still is the resulting of that self-awareness wouldn't be. That's not what's taught. And even meditation, whatever the standard, you're probably referring to sitting there and going, what am I, and how do I? That's a deeper thing. How's my being interacting with the world as a whole, and all that meditation is slightly different than seeing through the everyday insanity. That's a little different. But and I don't think that would necessarily, I know plenty of people that meditate and that are into yoga practices and stuff. That doesn't necessarily mean uh, they don't see it. Plenty of chicks, plenty of dudes. They get their yoga on. They do their meditation. But they still went and got jabby jabs. They still buy into mm, faulty farce authority. They still buy into it. Zen mode in the worldly affairs. Scientists haven't figured out why we sneeze. I thought it was they haven't figured out why we hiccup. The sneeze seems obvious. I don't know. I would dimension. I don't think that's true. Once you tickle something, once you put once you put a bunch of energy into the cellular thing and it starts to vibrate faster and is trying to express and get rid of something, it's kind of like saying not knowing how we sneeze is like not knowing why we sweat. It's a very equivalent thing. I don't know. I'm not buying it, man. I think that's already solved. It's the basically to excite atomic structures and to get something out of the system. A sneeze is no different than crying, is no different than sweating. Come on, man. Come on now, man. You give me your best Joe Biden there? Come on, man. I see through the BS because, well, I don't know. I'm just saying I don't know because I don't meditate. Not in that way. I don't sit here and go, sometimes. I'm not sometimes I do, but when I observed what was going on, it was well before I did anything, had any practice whatsoever in Eastern philosophy. I knew nothing of Eastern philosophies. I didn't meditate. I didn't. There's no. And again, I would say usually Eastern philosophies and practices kind of bring upon that self-awareness, but certainly not. That's not what catalyzed the way that I see things or seeing through it. How thick the air is? I don't know. I haven't noticed. There's cold days, there's warm days. I mean, where I live, I haven't really. Divine, you think they're spraying the air with it? I don't think so, because I don't think it exists. In the sense that, um, while it might exist as what it is, I believe in the exome, theory, the terrain modification, the terrain theory. I don't believe in the germ theory. I don't believe in the theories that they've. Uh, you can't get sick from it. If somebody gave that, it's a dead, spent cellular matrix of things that you can't. You could put it all. You could put it on your birthday cake and eat it. It's not gonna do anything to you because it's already used. That's kind of the way that I've noticed it. Like, as far as the research I've done, the studies that I've done into all the different things, it does. Who cares if they are? Come on now, come on, man, come on now. Yeah, stare at the madness and just go. Okay, right. Yeah, Dimension said it correctly. I'm not going to use the word, but you can't catch it. You can only. It's the after effect of being diseased, then produce the resulting the resulting V word. Oh yeah, that I'm sure dimension. Yeah, and same thing as I just watched a video. Somebody live streamed it. Took an orange. It tested. So what is it really testing for? Matt in yeah. Well, I also seen somebody that tested the Red Bull on a. Um, oh man, I have. That's what's happening. I had cut hot peppers earlier and I didn't wash my hands, and I just got that in my eye. Nice. And I'm gonna rub my eye more. They tested it on a drug test thing, a drug test kit. And it tested like positive for like coke and meth and something else, which would only seem about right. And I just seen something. It was talking about um, that they can put nano things into your food and not have to tell you, because if they call it like a nano vitamin A, because they've already said that vitamin A is okay, and it's fine, and it's not that, because it's the nano version of it, they also like find that, and they've passed that to say that's fine too. And I'm not saying vitamin A. I don't know what they. I forgot what the study was saying, but interesting. Nanobots everywhere, man. No, I didn't see the tap water, but I mean, obviously, tap water ain't tap water. It's tap liquid. Oh yeah, it's your sinuses. There's a. I mean, obviously, your ears, nose, and throat all kind of linked together, and so do your eyes too, right? But yeah, of course, you can't taste anything. So once you get your sinuses clogged up, your hearing kind of goes down. Can't taste things. Mm-hmm. But burp more than I breathe. It's a possibility sometimes. Yeah, dimension. I'd bet that. Yeah, it's the graphene. I would assume so. So as I've said before, if we can put it into our person, a lot of people say once it's in there, it's affecting your DNA and you can't get it out of you. I don't see that. It seems like anything you put in your body, you get out of it. To every problem is a solution attached. To every poison is a panacea. To every there has to be. There can every knot can be untied. That has to be reality. I can't see it any other way. Some things are more difficult than others, but oh man, that's I'm just scrolling back through some of your comments. Y'all didn't show up until I just re-looked at them. So funny. Yeah, yeah. There you go. And to take it into a different realm, like if you have a magical spell cast on you, there's undoings. If you know, it seems that any bind can be unbound. Yeah, it's dimension. Yeah, okay, and there we go. As there is perhaps a positive to this, that there is other energies that are available. There's perhaps some superhuman traits, but then again, if you can get it through that, it's kind of like saying taking psychedelics will open up the world and you can maybe you get new abilities. Well, you can also acquire that through meditation and all these other practices that don't require substances. So there's the take the pill, jump on the ride way, or there's the take the walk and find it way. Yeah, I can't tell if he's acting it out or it's a robot or it's just an old dude in a costume and they're like, here, put this thing on, go read the script. And he's like, like I don't know if the dumb, bumbling, nonsensical stuff is just go, he's dumb and old, he'll screw this up somehow. Let's just see what happens. Or if it's like, here, act old and dumb and bumble off this script. Oh, hold on, I gotta move this thing here because it's a little windy. Oh yeah. What's interesting is my yesterday it was 63 out and my house was about 75. It was warm in here. Today it's 73, 74 outside and it's like it's freezing in my house. I can't understand it. I've had my window open for all these days. It's been down in the 40s and I'm perfectly comfortable and warm. And now that it's warm out, it's chilly in here. Cuckoo. I mean, I'm on a higher floor. Heat rises, etc., etc. The rest of the building's heated. I guess I can understand why it'd be warm. Yeah, but now they're just on a day that it is warm, why it would be cold. And that's everybody else turn their AC on, and I don't know. Who knows? I don't know how all this stuff works, man. It's crazy. Well, it's almost Mardi Gras season. It is. It's here. So you guys can party with me, and I'll take you guys on journeys into the insanity. Well, we'll see. It might be a little tough considering past years. Everybody's using their phones, so it's kind of the connection and the service isn't always that good. But I will be able to film some at least. No dimension, no baseboard heat. Nope. Nope. How do I think it will be? Well, in one sense, you have enough weird people here that will stay inside and do their, oh, it's I can't believe they're doing that. It's gonna make everybody sick and die. Oh. Yeah, there's those people, but I think there's also way less people that live here. But then again, we didn't have Mardi Gras last year, and I think that people will be really excited about getting out and having anything to do with interacting with other humans and other places, depending on how how that works. People flying in, but then again, people flying in, I don't know what their attitude will be, as far as like if you're gonna come here, you're probably gonna have been stabbied, and probably have all your bustiers, and who knows who will be putting their diaper on their head outside. Who knows? In one sense, I think it will be totally awesome, and like at least energetically, because people like we've been people that people here live outside. They live for the weather, the music, the community, to be outside and interact and be social, and being stuck up in the house for 2 years, it would seem like people would be like really like excited and like, oh my gosh, you know. But then you're gonna have the contrarians that will still be out, but be like, oh bad, diapers on your head. Uh. How's that? Yeah, I'm sure that there's a lot of those people. I've had people in this building because there's a lot of older people that live where I live that are very skittish, very masky, very diaper heady. I mean, they're old and they're already on drugs. They're already uh, incontinent and broken and whatever. So I can only imagine. Damn, she can't get deliveries either. Woo-wee. She has 2 freezers full of meats. There she goes. Good for her. What? And if you're inside and you enjoy watching reruns of Jeopardy and let's make a deal all day. I mean, that's her life anyways, and she's enjoying her cats and her eating inside. Huh? Some people, like I've said before, some people, this whole thing hasn't really, other than the fear generated, their lifestyle hasn't changed much. The way that they live, it hasn't really taken much of a turn. Ooh, I need my. Here we go. Boom. Oh, nice. She's drinks the MGD. Nice. At least she's got her drinking going on. What's her how many beers does she drink a day? Does she like wait for the evening, or is she like just sipping all day, or what's that look like? And you know what? I wonder what that is for most people. I wonder. I think most people that have jobs probably aren't drinking on the job, and they're not drinking during work. But I wonder how many people they're using other substances to navigate their mental health and their day. But towards the evening, I wonder how many people medicate with beer, wine, or liquor, or weed. I wonder what percentage of people is like that's their, like some people would, because they drink maybe 5 days a week, but only drink 3 beers or 2 glasses of wine or whatever. They wouldn't consider themselves having any sort of what I mean, and I don't care. Like that's cool, good for them. But I wonder how many people that's their had a little nightcap. Ha 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 ha. Soap operas, man, that's got to be. I can't even imagine. I mean, well, I can a little bit because I had I had fam that did that. That they were into their soap operas and they're watching that kind of nonsense, and their whole demeanor Even though they weren't rich like that, they had a similar demeanor to what you'd see on there, the dramatic, ridiculous, weird shit. And I could only imagine like doing that on repeat every day. That's yeah, no idea. All day, every day, smoking weed, all day, every day. Funny enough, I didn't smoke in school. I couldn't. I couldn't go to class high. Never did. I don't like it. And in fact, after college, I didn't smoke much after college. You never care for alcohol in the morning? Yeah, for me, I don't. It depends. Some days when I get up, I'm just happy, like I'm just kicking it, and I won't touch anything. I won't drink for days sometimes. Other times, I don't know. It depends on what I'm doing for the day. Depends on the kind of day and what I'll drink if I do. And I really try not to eat until later in the day, most of the time. So, hello everyone there in the background. How you doing? Yeah, I mean, looking back on it, I couldn't even imagine. I mean, I knew some kids did smoke weed, but I'm like, I try to consider how did they? How do they figure out where to go, how to get, because like I never smelt it in high school, you know what I mean? I didn't because you know, I could tell 50 yards away if someone's smoking. I could tell you what they're smoking. So I'm like, how do people get away with it doing it in school? I don't know. I mean, that's not, no idea. I don't think it's a bad thing, because in one sense it's like you knew something that school was a sham. I don't know, like I don't know how that would have been escapism in school for me or for other people, because I'm like, if you're stoned in class, there's like you're, but then again, um, when I did smoke a lot, it was like all day, every day, yeah. And when I wasn't high, I was like, I felt weird. And now it's the opposite. I don't like smoking weed unless I'm a little drunk. And then I really enjoy it. Depends on what it is. But there was a time that it was like when I wasn't high, I was like, what the hell is going on here? He just sat there high as hell. Yeah, I was engaged during school. I was engaged in my learning most of the time. I mean, if I'm sitting there, I was like, I might as well pay attention. Might as well get the right answer. Might as well, I don't know. And I thought that like I'll get a piece of paper and a good job and make the monies, and you know, even though I can't say I ever had that vision or that dream or anything. I just thought that was what you did. And I figured, oh, if this paper says A on it, I'm good. I go into college, and I never really had any clue whatsoever to a career. Zero, zilch, none. Even when I was intelligent, like, well, according to the books and that thing. Even in college, I was like, what am I supposed to do here? I don't know. I don't want to do any of that. I'm not interested in any of that. Yeah, not being high. Not being high feels like high. Yeah. See, I don't find being high making things more enjoyable and interesting. Not at all. It's too. It adds too much contemplation to things for most of the time for me. I'm already contemplative. I'm already analytical. I'm already in there. So to me, it's like it's too much. It tends to hyper focus me on things, and they could be good, bad, or indifferent. And it's not like I'm going to. It's like if I go walk down the street right now, I'm going to stop and I'm going to look at a flower. I'm going to smell it, and I'm going to go, wow, look at this. Isn't this interesting? When I'm high, I'm just like, everything's interesting. I don't even know what to look at. I don't even know what to do. Divine, you said there's three, but YouTube says there's one. On your side, it says there's one. On my side, it says there's 10. Cuckoo. Now it says there's six. I don't know how any of it works. Yeah, I hear you on the affording the. If I had my druthers, what would I drink? If I had my druthers, I would probably smoke. I would drink less and smoke more, but I would smoke exactly what I wanted. But it's too. It's not. It's budgetarily like if everything was the same and I could have what I wanted, what would if money was no object, what would you do? My life would be quite different. Not the major things, like not how I am or anything, but substances and where I'd be, and but the majority of me wouldn't change much. But uh, I would definitely smoke good weed. I'd probably do some types of drugs that I like occasionally, but they're financially like I can't. I just don't have it. So for me, my my finances allow for that bottle right there of Svedka. That's again. That's like the thing is I don't really how long it would last because most of the time I share it with people. But I'll say if that bottle gets me 3 days, then it's like $7 plus mixers, so like under $10 a day, and I'm good. And I don't really eat that much. But if I just did what I wanted, I don't know. I'd probably drink some good craft beers and wines and shit. Yeah, Divine. It is funny what the it's like legitimately there's nothing that stops YouTube from telling you in real time how many people and comments and likes, and there's nothing stopping it from happening except for whatever they're making it not work right on purpose. Yeah, Dimension. I was at the grocery store earlier, um, or yesterday, whatever, and I seen a local. I don't know if it was local, but it was a craft beer, one single beer. It was 8.99. I was like, I'm sure it's delicious, and that's at a store, which means how much would that have cost me at the bar? Like, damn, $9. It was 6%, whatever. It was a tall can, but $9, $10 for one beer. I'm not gonna be drunk. I'm not. What's the point? So I buy a 4 pack of those, and I'm $30 in. That's insane. I mean, it's not really insane if I had the money. Yeah, Divine. I mean, it'd be so easy for the model not to be for the business model and whatever these platforms are. It'd be easy not to be, but then again, what are they serving? What is it went from just being here's a shareable thing and then go okay, here's a shareable thing that people can use to do this, and then it became okay, well, we can't have them saying that. We can't have this. We can't. Okay, well these people are money makers, and this is making up. This is what we need. Yeah, that's not. That's just so it becomes everything becomes too much of a business model for something, rather than just being what it was. Like an open source. Here it is. Here's how we make a little bit of money. It's done. Here's what you can do to use it. Post your videos, write your things, say whatever you want, and people will find you and make the algorithm across the board equal for everybody, and it all functions easy. And then all of a sudden, well, how do we make more on this investment? How do we keep people from saying this? Because there's influences. It's a travesty. $26 for 16-ounce beer. Yeah, fun times. Divine, does bottled beer taste different from cans? Without question. There are some things that are they're just garbage beer anyways, and they're pretty similar. But most beers, wildly different. Wildly. Toilet water IPA. Hop soaked in piss. That'd be interesting. I would like to see how that turns out. I'm sure there's plenty of people that have tried it, that have done it. Yeah, it depends on what I eat earlier in the day. If I went on a diet of, like, I could do a coffee beer if I just drank coffee every day and have that coffee pee pee smell, or asparagus, have asparagus pee pee beer. What's up, Branches? Branches always comes up in here with just some wild one-liner about who knows what, and then dips. So funny. And I'm not. That's It's the most random weird thing. Human existence is psychological warfare. No, it's not. It can be, but it's a pretty off the wall, bold statement. That's like saying, it's like using. You're saying the whole experience of life is war, which it clearly isn't. I don't know if you ever had a good meal, or someone give you a good tug off, or a back rub, or had somebody say something nice to you, or play a round of golf. Not so much. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened to Branches. I think his account got taken over, because he used to be cool, and now he just comes in here and says that randomest, craziest, most belligerently silly things. Not sure I can trust his ass to say anything intelligent, or not just to cause. See, he says that because just to cause a chaotic notion. Oh my God! Everything is fucking. The reason that they make bananas is to shove them up people's asses every day. That's the only reason they're made. And what is the connection? I think there's got to be a larger connection between the idea that monkeys love bananas and the idea that we came from monkeys, and that the bananas look nothing like the original ones, and the whole. Like, if you look into why they're so cheap, and the whole system of where it came from, and how crazy bananas are. Like, it's 39 cents a pound, and like it's like the industry of bananas are pretty weird, like Chiquita and all that. But then again, that could be bullshit too. Who knows? The banana warfare. Hey, I'm gonna go piss into somebody's face right now, and grab some more ice. So give me 2 minutes, and I'll be right back. So here's an idea that I want to explore, and I think it was the beginning of the show that I addressed this slightly. Is why is it that I know it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect, right? Is that what it's called? Is it Dunning-Kruger, or the what's the one where stupid people think they're smart? But you have there's three effects, and one is where intelligent people don't believe they're so intelligent because they're intelligent enough to go, well, I can't be that, I can't know that much, and they doubt their own intelligence. And then the other effect is stupid people continually believe they're smarter than they are. You know which ones I'm talking about? And in that, the idea is, why is it the most deranged people buy into their derangement and lunacy so bad that you can't even, there's no hedging, there's no leeway, there's no way to get in there and go, you understand what you're saying is completely absurd, and that makes them buy into it even more, which is that double down thing that people do. But why is that, and why is it that like, for instance, a lot of people will say whatever you're saying is not so crazy, weird, silly, conspiracy, whatever, and I try to explain it in a logical progression of why it's such, and they can't see it because they're so, to me, just mentally inept. But then these people that have these really absurd notions, a lot of them are basic, but then other absurd notions that they really think they're the ones that are, they know what's up. They're intelligent, and you can't even convince them their ideas are faulty. What is that? It's weird. It's weird, wouldn't you say? I would say, rather than what Branch has said, I would say human existence is strange. It's strange. You know, you see it from other levels and other realms, and you could kind of understand things differently. But still, nonetheless, Alan Watts said, just think about it. Look at this thing. You're in this body like this, and why is it that we find this body so attractive? Look at that girl over there. Look at that guy over there. It's so beautiful. That thing's not so. That's kind of ugly. That doesn't fit right into the form. And why are we in these things? What are we doing here? Why we got a brain? What is this? What's going on? It's a strange thing. Don't get stuck in that. You should at least observe it and go, "That is kind of strange, right?" That'll humble you a little bit. This is strange. But then you come back from that. You go, okay, how can we have fun here? How can we have fun? What can we learn? How can we improve things? That's pretty much a standard. And people somehow can't bind themselves to those the three infinities of the world are noxus, praxis, and telesis. To know, to do, to become. Those are three infinites. Those are three infinities. To know, to do, to become. The other three things that I think are to have fun, to learn something, and to better things. Those are my three infinites. And I don't see why it's so difficult for people to grasp onto that. Because fun is fun. Have fun. Cool. Try it out. Learn something. Oh my God, I know more. That's great. And you're going to help out the world. It helps you. It helps them. It seems like all great things. Why can't people... Why do people really... It's like a lot of people believe that for them to do well, other people need to fail. For them to succeed. For you to be happy, other people have to be miserable? No. For you to win, to have more, makes everybody else have less? That's not true either. But some people have that in their brain. And they're convinced of it. It's weird. It's strange, man. Okay. What's going on here? Yeah, give me Give me 2 more minutes, guys. I'll be right back. I think 2 minutes should accomplish the task. Okay, yeah, that takes me a little longer than I thought. Give me another 30, 60 seconds. Okay. So, one of the answers for the question that I posed about non-intelligent people thinking they're intelligence and is, I think, boils down to not wanting to be wrong. You know, it's you say something you're wrong, you feel like a fool, an idiot, moron, adult. You just don't feel, you're like, oh, it goes back to childhood when you did something that was goofy and you're like, I'm so embarrassed. Embarrassment, I think, being wrong is there's an embarrassment to it. A stigma. Just saying dorky things. Dorky things. Uh, and people not just going, oops. Either going, hey, I don't know, this is what I think. And then somebody goes, well, why do you think that? And they can't really explain themselves. They would rather just go, no, I know this to be true. And just say something and not be willing to, oh, this thing right here. Hold on, I'm going to turn it off because I know that's annoying me, so it must be annoying you. I'm really going to have to go. Who is the one who's embarrassed? Well, certainly the person that's wrong. They take it to their ego, to their level of embarrassment. I mean, a lot of times you're embarrassed for other people. I'm embarrassed for other people. But then again, I'm like, well, how can I really be embarrassed? It's kind of like the whole of humanity. Okay, they were taught wrong. Da da da. It's not, but they don't want to be wrong. It's the mode, right? Oh, the little me. Well, you have the little me, the poor me. The control dramas from what's the book? Celestine Prophecy. You know the control dramas. Poor me, the questioner. These things, so you can maintain control. Those are in people, but even more than the control dramas for relationships, I think it really funnels back to not wanting to be wrong, be a dork, be stupid, be So then they'll like I was thinking about this earlier because I was having a couple conversations with people on one on Reddit and one on Instagram, and the person was just silly, and I explain it. Instead of just accepting their silliness, they go farther and farther into defending their point. And their point was silly. One of it was this person had a pond in somewhere on their big ass property, and people came there and jumped into the water, and they even set up he had, I guess, apparently set up a thing you could jump off of because it's like a quarry or something, or a big pond. And the person I'm arguing, because I was like, oh yeah, because there was like a little news story, and the news story was like, oh, people get hurt, and this person needs to be, they got to close this down. And the person was defending the idea that this person should be held liable if anybody gets hurt, and da da da. I'm like, people are gonna live. It's a pond. People are gonna jump in if they want to, but you can't just build something there and it's like he was running a circus, like he was running, and that he should be held liable. Yeah, if you're running a circus and you have all these things that you've made, yeah, that maybe there's a little more responsibility and because you're encouraging people to come and pay for tickets and whatever. But this guy's got just somewhere to jump off into this. It's like 30-foot drop, but people are gonna do it anyway. So you just built the thing and use it, whatever. And this person just, and I say to this person that's arguing with me, because I'm like, dude, people are gonna do what they want. Like, this is just so ridiculous. It's like, and I said to him, like, well, listen, we're just gonna have to disagree with here because you're the kind of person that believes you want to put a bumper on everything and you want to live in a gerbil ball, and you want to make rules and have safety over everything. And I was like, and I, on the other hand, see experience and freedom, and people are gonna do what they want anyways. So we'll just leave it at that. And then it comes back with even longer 3 paragraphs, and somebody got hurt, and so no, because they got hurt. Yeah, because they chose to jump into the water and hurt themselves, and they didn't know how to. They didn't look into water to see if there was something they might bump into, and they didn't. That's their problem. It's not that guy's problem, and so this guy's, and I'm just like, dude, just fucking go to bed. Like, I'm gonna argue something that has nothing to do with me and nothing to do with you. And I was like, dude, here's the point. If you want to go jump in, go do it. If you don't want to, don't do it. If you want to, do it. And if I want to, I will. And if I don't, then I won't. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with me. You're gonna be like, oh, how dare you jump in? Now, if I were to jump in, why am I gonna hold the guy that has a pond there? I'm gonna go, oh, you're liable because there's a pond there with water in it. Like, people make no sense. Control dramas? Well, no, control dramas are so you dominator submissive. So you have the dominator submissive and the control dramas. So you have people that are the questioners, and it's to maintain some sort of identity and control over oneself. So if I identify with poor me, that poor me gets me attention. I garner attention that everything is like, oh, it's so sad, so poor, da, 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 da. And that psychologically, like, I don't recognize it. I wouldn't recognize it any different than if I were like, I'm a strong, powerful person. You know, they're both somehow gaining some sort of attention, and it's like, pay attention to this. It's like people that are drama queens. And then you have other types of, look up the 4 control dramas, and you'll see it. You'll see your parents had each of them. They had 2 major ones. They both had 2 major ones, and those 2 major ones influenced how you are to a big degree. Because if both of them are questioners, then one of your control dramas would be to be aloof. You just like tired of all the questioning bullshit. You just go, I don't know, I'm aloof. And then you have, and if maybe your parents were aloof, maybe they both were aloof, then you would have to be, maybe you were questioning them. I mean, like, why are you so stupid? What are you talking about? And then there's these balances between the control dramas. Yeah, Divine. The freedom would be great if everyone owned their own actions. Well, everyone does. It's to a very high degree. There's only a small degree of times where the influence of, say, now, you know what I had said to this dude as I was talking about jumping into a pond. I was like, the guy that owns the property wasn't out there in the street soliciting, going, come to my pond, give me $5, jump in there. Now, if he's doing that, then he will have the responsibility. Would be somewhat, the onus would be on him to make sure there's nothing that the person's going to fall and break their skull open. Some safety measures. They would be responsible. Now, if that's not happening, then everyone if they're walking down the street and they step in a pothole, they're going to sue the city. You know what I mean? It's like the whole idea. You remember seeing those things where somebody broke into someone's house and like they're on the roof or whatever and fell through and broke their back, and they sued the person that owned the house because their roof wasn't up to code, even though they were breaking into the house, and they won the case because it had nothing to do with because the fault was on the owners for having a roof that wasn't up to code, despite the fact the person was going to steal from their house. So, and that makes no sense. And that's logically, it's goofy. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is people, yeah, they do it all the time, but that's, I mean, if everyone's too crazy, if you really, the people that should be sued, the corporations and the entities that should be, are hardly ever held at fault for what, you know. You can see it all over the place with things that should be, they're at fault. Well, they go, well, I just made the thing, I didn't sell it. I made the drug, I didn't sell it. The person's like, well, I sold it, I didn't make it. The person that took it goes, well, they told me it was going to do something different. And they go, well, I didn't know that you were also taking that. You see how confusing and convoluted everything becomes? bot 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 bot. And see now, how isn't YouTube all over that? How is you? It's very clear what the bots type in. How does YouTube allow for that to? They have algorithms. They can literally shut people's channel down within a few minutes by listening to audio and going through this and saying things that it's happening instantaneously. They can do that, but they can't get in the way of these bots saying the same garbage over and over. They don't. The counts aren't completely. So are they doing it? Is it YouTube doing it? And if it's not, and it's some other, they don't have any way to combat that. That's insane. That can't be true. Well, yeah, I mean, people with more money, yeah. Why does that work? Because it's a maritime law, and it's based on finances. So it has nothing to do with logic, reason, or real world, anything to do with credibility, or it has nothing to do with that. It would never work that way. The fact that companies sell products that are very dangerous, and it's okay that they sell it as very dangerous, and that there's an actual, like, if you lose a finger, it's worth 100,000. If you lose an arm, it's worth 1 million. The fact that they put a price tag on people's lives being completely altered, destroyed, and for that business, to them, there's 100 people, 3 people lost arms. Who cares? That only cost us 3 million. We made 20 million this year. So in fact, I made 17 million. Well, they don't care. It's financial justification. It has nothing to do with any reality of the situation. Like in that world, I mean, it's funny me saying it because I don't really believe in a specific standard or set of morals or obligations or ethics to any. I mean, there is, but it's very very wavy area. But it's in the world of business and institutions of within maritime and within corporate environment. Their morals and ethics are based on nothing but profitability. So there can't be anything that is there is, then it just is. Who cares? It's like playing a video game. Well, you crash your car, you crash your car. Like, it's not my shit. I don't care. That's yours. That's your problem. I don't know. I don't know about that. Perhaps it's always attached to that, but the more intelligent I've become, or powerful, or whatever. I don't necessarily enjoy it. I don't know. What kind of luxuries do you get with it? More money, more problems. More power, more problems. I mean, there's a balance to things. I don't know. The love of power. Well, I think there's maybe a misnomer in that, because power is responsibility. The ability to see, responsibility is the word ability to respond. So having power is the ability to respond. So when people are trained in, like, okay, martial arts, so they can fight, or they're big or whatever, well, they have the ability to respond differently. But what do they get that other people don't get. People are like, oh, they want to test them. Everybody gets. Some people get bigger. They already have a chip on their shoulder or whatever. But some people, as they get bigger, people want to fuck with them. A lot of small people, nobody. Why fuck with them, right? There's a balance to things. I don't know. Yeah, Divine. I can't necessarily agree with that. Money or no money, you can't really. Yeah, you're you, but the access to things, to the response, the ability to respond to things, the access to things, wildly different. So you wouldn't be the same way. You would you are different. You would be different. I would be different. Everybody would be different. Like, oh, you people, he got a lot of money. He didn't change. Yeah, some people put it in the bank and they're penny pinchers because they were poor, so they didn't change much. But in all reality, I can certainly say if I had $100,000 a year, I'd be wildly different. Would I still be like this? Would I still talk the way I do and still act like this? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But there would be things that would change. There are little aspects of me, where I would hang out, what I would consume, who I would interact with. It would all change. It would have to. When I don't have money and I go and hang out with people that are hanging out in the streets and they're poor, that's who I hang out with. I can't go when I don't have any money. I can't go hang out with people that have money, that have nice clothes, that are enjoying being on the rooftop deck with the martini. I can't do that. It doesn't. So the access to things is different. So people say that I'm still me, poor, rich. That it's just unequivocally, without question, not true. You would definitely be different. As long as you have as long as you have enough to get by, then everything else is cream. Once you're at a certain level, you know, if you say I got fuck you money, I got enough in the bank, and I got my house is paid for, and I got enough to take care of myself. Once you're there, then all the money in the world might not change you, and you don't want to go to different places. But saying having no money, or it changed everything, the way you interact with people, who you're interacting with, when, how, yeah, changes the jobs you take, changes how much you ask for something. It does change what you need. Changes how people observe you. Changes how they'll interact with you, whether you like it or not. They're gonna interact with you differently, which means you'll interact with them differently. When the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. By, um, he says by Jimi Hendrix. It's by Morgan Freeman. Oh wait, it's the same person. Yeah, I mean, Divine. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but again, coming from money and then having less money, you don't have no money. You have a house, you have land, you have the essentials. To have no money and not have the essentials is wildly different. To be without a residency, without a house, without having somewhere to put your items, with no food, that's wildly different than coming from money and having less money. You don't have no money. You don't. You have to go through Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and without money, you don't have the basic needs. They won't be met, so you will be different. And so maybe you can't see it because you came from money. If you didn't come from money, you would know. If you came from less, you would know the difference. Perhaps that's what it is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, dimension. That's what we're kind of getting at, right? I mean, the money can't control you, but it does dictate access to certain things, whether we like it or not. It just is. Can you overcome that with no money and be such a spirit, an energy, but then that you would then acquire the things you needed, which would oftentimes come in the way of you would get the money. So, I mean, when I don't have money, because I know certain people and I have social credit in certain places, I can get into places that would normally cost me money that don't cost me money. Everybody's done with that. Everybody's gone to, a bartender, you drink for free. Somebody's working at a restaurant, you might eat for free. The owner. Yes, you can work on social credit. You can. But not everybody can. Not even a large portion of people. And when you are broke, to always be in a position of, this gets into contributionism. Ubuntu. Uh, that's how things should be, barter and contributionism. But that's not where we are. So it does change people. Yeah, I mean, the money telling you what to do, where to go. It's just like, but the point is, again, too, if just because I had a lot of money doesn't mean I'm going to go and hang out with the people on the rooftop that having a martini. You know, it doesn't mean I would do that. I still probably would go to the cheap bars and hang out with the people with different type of attitude. I probably still would do that. In fact, when I did have money, I did do that. So, but nonetheless, yeah, I mean, it's really strange to me when people have what I would consider enough money to really be in the I'm good arena. I know a lot of people that have enough money where they should be in the I'm good arena, but then they live well outside their means. And I'm like, you have enough money to literally own a home, but instead of buying the home that you can have and never have to worry again, and you could buy a car and never have to worry again about those things with the income that you have. Instead, they'll go and buy the house that's way bigger and more than they need. Instead of buying the thing that is just good enough and having the staples of, I need transportation, doesn't matter what it is. And then, if after a certain point you even have more income and you want to upgrade those things, go for it. But I know people that are so far behind because they get ahead of themselves. Like, what's the point? It's like a friend of mine that grew up didn't grow up in India, but her family did. Just talking about certain villages and places, they don't have credit cards. They don't work on credit because it's equated to what's called the happiness quotient. It tends to be people that aren't. It's not that the places are more poor; it's they're not in debt to the degree. While some countries have more money and there are richer people and have lots of stuff and things, they're more in debt. So that debt pulls them into some place that they can't. It appears they have a lot of money, but they're broke. They're in debt. These other places where it seems like they don't have a lot, they have what they need. They have what they need, and they're not in debt because they're not indebted to anybody. So their happiness quotient is up. Let me turn the light on. Let's see if that's good. Ha ha ha. Aha, no idea. See, there you go. You've kind of accessed something. And that's the divine, the golden mean, the golden portion, the golden ratio of how we could build a car to look a certain way. They build these things goofy on purpose. To build a car that looks like a Porsche, it takes no more or less energy and tooling and material than it does to make a Prius. But perception says that's not at all a ratio that looks good, that is healthy, that is pretty, beautiful. It looks like it should. That's not because it's not because the Porsche is $100,000 and the Prius is 10. It's designed that way so the perception is that's poor and broken and whatever. It doesn't take any more. It doesn't take any more money to make uh, the engine. It's a, it's the same material. It's the same process. It's not. So it's built into how they're imaging something based upon perception and in the real world, like what the golden mean would be. Ratios. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Divine. Yeah, Toyota makes one. That's another way to make things cheaper. But all in all, the the quality of the car, you could make one frame for every vehicle. Is that communistic or whatever? I don't know. Could be easier. It's not to say every car should look the same, because not everybody wants their car to look the same. But given the same amount of work, get rid of status, get rid of perception of things, and just build cars that look different. People would choose. I don't know anybody would be like, oh, I want a Ford Taurus. I want a stupid car that looks like that. They would never choose it. They choose it because it gets better gas mileage. They choose it because it's cheaper. They choose it because of certain things, because it's what they can afford. But if everything was equal value, no one's buying. No one's going to be buying those ridiculous, silly-looking cars. Yeah. Some people will buy trucks because they like to build things. They need a place to put their lumber. You know, there's certain different types of vehicles that would be made, but the body style is irrelevant it's the cost of it. I mean, have you ever seen any cars? I almost bought a kit car a while back. You know what a kit car is? I almost bought a kit car, a Porsche, because it was going to cost me less than buying a brand new car, or even a car for that matter that I liked. And all I had to do was buy a Fiero, because a Fiero had the same size. Um, like Divine was saying that every Toyota uses the same frame, so the frame works for the Porsche body. And then for the engine, you get a similar engine to the Porsche's engine from a different company. And so for under 10 grand, I could have built myself what in every way appears to be a Porsche. Not as perfectly weighted, not as perfectly balanced, and the engine isn't as good, but all in all, to anybody's perception, that's a Porsche. Or I'd spend, $70,000 on a Porsche. So in reality, how much did it really cost? It really didn't cost 70. It's the status of it. If you have no money, you can't spend it. If you have money and you need something, pay cash. Yeah, certainly. I mean, having no money is for some people would be good for a little while to they have appreciation and things. But having no money as a standard way of being is really we're not supposed humans are not we're not supposed to be poor. We're not supposed to be in debt. We're not supposed to be having broken things. We're not supposed to be living a life of servitude towards things, nor having less than what we require, want, need. We're not supposed to live that way. Everything should be in abundance. Even if somebody wants to eat too much and have a huge house, go for it. But people would quickly realize that they don't need a giant mansion. They don't really need 75 cars. They don't really need, people that are rich get into collections of cars, get into collections of things, because I already got that. Might as well get all the colors of it. Juniper. Oh, did you want one on this channel? All you wrench carriers. Oh, that's right. Juniper said she didn't want one. Divine, never spend more money than your income. Number one rule for financial independence. That's true. But again, that's only based upon people that are already starting out with enough. No one has enough because of the jobs they have. And I mean, think of it in a very simple way. What percentage of people is is their wage going to literally take care of the basic needs without falling into debt? Nobody. It's like a very small percentage of people. So unless you're starting above water, unless you're already starting out from a position of having enough, you're not going to get to the point of having enough because you're always going to be trying to get there. It's like frustrates the shit out of me whenever I see these stupid posts about people. Well, here's why people are poor, and here's why rich people wear a stupid pair of pants and a T-shirt that cost $8 at Walmart. That's why they're rich, because they spent their money and they invested it. So if somebody had if you had $1,000, you should invest 900 of it and keep 100. I'm like, yeah, but these people that are working two jobs making $15 an hour, they still got to pay for. They got to get to work. They got to pay for gas. They got to pay for insurance. They got to pay for their house. They got to pay for their kid. Where's the money to invest coming from? These jackasses, they don't have it. No one gave them anything to invest to begin with. You don't think I should be well off? I don't have enough money to invest. I have enough just barely to do my everyday thing. So in all reality, like I'm somewhat in debt. Yeah. So unless you have enough to begin with, you're no, it's rarely happening. You lucked out in a lot of ways coming from and having to begin with. You got to that point. There's no reason the garbage man should be making $20 an hour, and this guy that's in front of this company making $6.7 million a year, as if their job was any harder or more, whatever it is. Nonetheless, that person's going to be behind, and that person's going to be ahead. Double down and dump people. Yeah, doubling down. Yeah, I covered that in the beginning dimension. There you go, an idea. Literally, if everybody that was rich, and when that has enough, and took people under their wing and said, here's how I can help you, and here's how you can invest, and not only invest, you can pay me back for what here's how you have to do it. Many more people would be out of their servitude, their indebtedness, their indentured slavery, out of their poorness. But the people that have much, they just want more because they don't want to be poor. George Carlin told you. The middle class, the lower class is just there to keep the middle class working hard enough so they're not poor. Well, the rich sit there and eat everything. You have a spot of coffee? I mean, it's difficult to have a conversation with anybody when you. I don't demonize capitalism, but to have an open dialogue, to say I'm not suggesting socialism, communism, and in the way that you see them. But if you would just look at capitalism the way it's set up and really take a hard look at what's going on and how it's not beneficial for but a few people, and it's very bad for a lot of other people, and it isn't pick yourself up by the bootstraps, and you start to, okay, what about interest, what about inflation, what about income tax, what about all of these things that go into leveraging financial assets, and how it's not healthy. There's nothing healthy about capitalism, and the only people that argue for it are people that are industrialists, capitalists, that are making money, and then the fools that are just repeating what they're saying because they lived in a capitalist environment. And then if you say that, somebody's mind immediately, because they've been triggered, immediately go, well, then you must be a communist and you want everybody to have the same thing, which is not true. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about how commodities, and especially real estate, you can make a profit on it is really weird. I can see it in the sense that if while I don't like a lot of things of capitalism nor gentrification, I will say that are aspects to gentrification that are intelligent, wise, and helpful. And of course, property values in nicer places should go up. There should be a value to living in places that are clean, neat, organized. There should be a value in that. But to the degree of which there is a wild separation between that and the other, that seems a little. It's disparaging the dichotomy between it is obscene. The richest people, like, what is it? The 20 richest people, the 20 richest people on the planet, doubled their income over the past 2 years. So they went from like 20 trillion to 40 trillion. What's going on here? So where did that extra 20 trillion come from? Had to come from somewhere. Where did it come from? Came from the middle class and the lower class. Came from closing that business so that they could own more business for themselves. Hardly seems fair. It's not. It's this life isn't fair. They say no. It's life is hard work, but it's fair. No, it's not. Anybody saying that is lying to themselves, because they have more. Because they clicked into the club. They were given something. They have assets and resources. Someone is making a profit and someone is not. And usually, as within these structures of using, how to put this, in these economic structures, because there's different types of them, different types of economies. The amount of people that are prophets and the amount of people that are literally the masses in the seats going, praying to the prophets, there's less and less prophets. More and more struggling masses. There's no other way it can be. It's designed within the system that's the only way it can occur. Now, the people that are prophets could literally profit share and bring other people up. They could. They just don't choose to. And their logic and their reason is, well, I did it, so they should be able to do it. So everybody can be a billionaire? I don't think that's the way that works. It's like saying there's 200 fruit trees, and you take 190 of them and take all the fruit, and you just demand that, okay, now there's 200 more people, they can have as much fruit as you have. It's mathematically impossible. It's a fool's quest to even consider that. So if you have all of the stuff, then everybody else has less. If there's that many of the things. Everyone can be a self-righteous prick. Yes, that's a big part of it. Is in one sense being self-righteous and saying I'm not sharing with that person. I'm not giving to that. And there's many reasons not to. You don't give to a cancerous thing. You don't give energy to someone that's going to use it to buy drugs and guns and hurt people. You don't give it to them. Now, if you don't, some people are like, oh, you have to give it to everybody. No, you don't. You get to pick and choose. But then there's some people that are so rich, entitled, self-righteous pricks that they'll give to no one because I did it, so they could. They can do that too. Yeah, I hear you. Know, it's crazy when you have money, you want to give it like your heart wants to. Yeah, I do that to a fault. That I'm not in a better position financially. I can look, I don't do it because it screws me. It screws with my head too much. If I was like, oh, you know, I gave somebody X amount of dollars, I did this, and if I didn't, you know how much money would be I'd have today be in my bank account that would be if I just like took those little gifts that I gave away to people. And sometimes they were like $300 and somebody needs 200. There's a pretty good chance I'm giving it to them. And it really never, to me, it didn't matter who it was. And I've done that plenty of times. And then the next day I'm sitting there going, well, I don't have anything. And then I'm sitting there being the bum asking for things. And going, man, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So in some ways, errors in where to invest or give or share monies or currency or energy, well, I shouldn't have. Don't feed don't feed the wild animal that comes into your yard, because then all of a sudden all the other ones are there, and then there's lots of things that happen there. I know. Yeah, I hear you, Divine. When you have, if you had $1 billion and you gave away half of it, you're not worse off. You're fine. And that, if you had $500 million, you're good. Promise you. And that 500 million, that could go and make 500 people's lives way better, which would in turn make your life better. All sorts of businesses they could start, all sorts of ways they could support themselves, and then if they had $1 million, they could give away 100,000 and be perfectly fine with 900,000, and that person with $100,000 could. That is a trickle down economy, but we don't have that. We don't have a true trickle down economy. It doesn't function that way. What's up? What's up, Super Tramp? You weren't born with a gold-plated water distiller and a mystery school educated parents, but it's all good. Yeah, I hear you on that. Sometimes I go, if there was more people that would be like me, I don't want anybody. I don't want more people like me. Then I wouldn't be so. I wouldn't be me. Then I would be a dime a dozen. That then I would have no value. I don't want more people like me. But having a similar attitude might be nice. Oh, divine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you on that. It does. It does. It's a good feeling, but sometimes giving away shit can bite you in the ass because you're like, ah, damn it, no, I don't have enough. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you got $100, giving away some of that is really struggle. Like you do. I mean, I have. But if you got 1 million, that's easy to give the shit away, and it does make you feel good. Oh yeah, back to the virtues, and then now what do we have on social media? Which is crazy to me. We have a bunch of people that virtue signal. I mean, everywhere, virtue signalers, people that give things away. They'll put the camera there and be like, "Hey, look it! I just gave this bum $50 and made his day." And the guy's like, "Oh," and then everybody goes on there, "Good job! You really made that person's day." And as they're doing that, the $50 that he gave to that bum, that person made hand over fist because of ad revenue, people donating to them, their t-shirts and their hats they're selling. That $50 was an investment. They didn't give two shits about that fucking bum. So they're virtue signaling. It's still gaining them something. It's still selfish. It's still selfish for them to give that fucking uh, crackhead $50 or buy him. What do you want? Oh, I'll buy you McDonald's. Yeah, good job. Still doesn't fix the problem. It's not virtuous. It's signaling towards you have virtues, but you don't. Yep. And then let me go spark a coal and hey, refill my glass. Anybody want to have a drink with me? I'll have a shot with you. I'm gonna go pour myself a drink and a shot, and we're gonna do shots. How's it go? Shots. How's that go? It's really shots. You know, is that I get that right? You know how that goes? Okay, it's really really high level craftsmanship. Really, that's an art form. I mean, somebody shots. Yeah, we'll do that. Maybe we take the idea of like Elon Musk. Let's use lone scum. The good and the bad. And does he believe that he's doing something good? And when does the noble lie influence the population for a good reason? So there's a lot of good things he said and done. Plenty. But then the bold-faced lies. Do you think he knows that certainly the realm is not what we've been told, and that his car didn't go into some outer space? Do you think he knows that? Now, if he does, what could be the good to it? What would be how could that noble lie, even though I don't find anything noble about it, influence population in a good way? Versus all of the things that he's done that perhaps were good, and does he believe in it? Does he believe in the electric car and where that's going? Does he believe in, even though he's overcharging and he's a trillionaire, billionaire, whatever, like, should he be? Is he really? Is that what does he sold everything? He sold all his houses, and now he has all the money and do anything with it. And it just sits there in a bank account. I don't know. What's the do you think he believes he's a good, virtuous, helpful person? And how much how much bullshit could he put out there? Like, how many things could someone say and go, okay, I know this isn't correct, but it's going to influence somebody to do something that will be good. I'm going to tell people I put a car in outer space, and then maybe it'll influence people to say that's not happening, and they're going to, because of that, the butterfly effect, they'll do a bunch of good things, and it'll help the world. Maybe he knew that. At the same time, maybe he was like, well, if I just do this, I'm going to make more money, and people are going to buy into the idea that we're going to, have a spaceship going to Mars, and you can, who knows? But there is that. Like, where's the balance to it, and what is the benefit to humanity? What is his benefit to humanity? Truthfully, right now, and then, even if he's not, I can accept it this way. What is the counterbalance to that? What is the counterbalance to the ignorant things? What's the counterbalance to Smark Muckermurder, whatever his name is? What's the counterbalance to Amazon guy? What's the counterbalance to that? There has to be, for the world to exist, right? Where are those people? Where's that coming from? Billy Gardell's. I don't know who that is. I'll check him out. Divine, I do not hate capital letters. I just, it was just an interesting time that you happened to use them in the moment. I don't mind people doing capital letters, but if it's all the time, and if it isn't, it's kind of like if someone's always talking like this. If I always did this, that would be weird, right? If I always opened my eyes, and you got to do it selectively. Just you sprinkle those little things in. Oh, I didn't get my shot glass. Hold on. Shot glass. Okay, here we go. Okay, we got some lemon juice. I got this guy. You guys know this guy? This guy came from Mexico City. Check him out. Isn't he rad? He's like my little Mexico City wrestler guy. What are they called? There's a specific name for him, but whatever. They're the little wrestlers. I don't know why I call them little. I'm sure just because they're Mexican. I'm assuming they're short. So I'm going to put a little bit of lemon and then some vodka. Go right up. Oh, is this how much of a moron I am? Yeah, this is you're watching Moron in Action. Fool! Look at this fool. Okay, because I had forgot my bevy. My beverage. Another lovely, bubbly beverage. What's up, guard? What are you doing? Who are you? What are you doing here? Do I know you? Do you know me? Hey, guard, do you... Well, thanks. If you're unfamiliar, I do have another channel that is, because of some things that I say, not very liked by the censors. My other channel is my name, Zen-Atman. And not all my videos are up over there, but I have about 4,000 of them. So if you're interested and you don't know me, there's a reason people show up to this insanity. Yeah, Monty Python is great. I love it when I get to watch Monty Python. It's not like I couldn't turn it on, but there's a certain there's a certain mode, certain mindset that I have to be in to want to watch Monty Python. Even though, obviously, I think the humor is genius, but it isn't. As a lot of humor can be kind of stuck in its time, and it doesn't. It has no legs to the future, but that translates. But I haven't seen all of it. The Holy Grail and I've seen these, but one of my favorite books is by one of the dudes from Monty Python, Robert Cleese. Great book, his autobiography. Did I say Robert Cleese? Is that what his name is? Is that right? Is it Jim Cleese and Robert something? Anyways, and I have the Monty Python and the Holy Fool book over there. It's pretty good. I don't know where I was going with that other than say, yeah, Monty Python, man. What's up? Hey, Colin, thank you for the... Hey, cheers. Thank you for the ducats the other day. You paid for some of my beverage here. Thank you, man. Oh, cheers, everybody. Get your drinks on. And you know I can't do all a shot at once. Did I have a proper deuce after the Budweisers? It wasn't a filthy one. It was fine. It was a good dump. Put it that way. It wasn't messy. It wasn't tragic. No one died because of the aroma, and my butthole felt just fine. Yeah, whoever this guard is, what's up, yo? Oh, of course, come join. Oh, you don't know my other channel? Yeah, I was just because you're new. My early stuff that I did on that channel, not everything is released. I took about 3,800 videos and they're under lock and key because I don't want my channel shut down. There's maybe 300 on there now, but my early stuff is me just talking and teaching about magic and etymology and health and all sorts of things. Crazy stuff. And then the middle grounds is kind of, and this is all before I put my stupid face on camera, because I didn't even like talking. So I actually wrote before my WordPress that if you're interested is out there is zenalchemist.wordpress, Zen Alchemist. And I started writing years and years ago, maybe like online, like 2011. And then I decided I should probably just talk. It's easier, even though I didn't like the sound of my voice. And then my middle stuff I did during maybe 2-3 years ago was a lot of, I wasn't even on camera, but I would do like philosophical lectures and all sorts of things like that. And then finally I put my face on camera, and this is what you get now. And it's a lot more dialogue with people where I'm answering and talking to people. Where the early stuff was I just made a video and posted it. So these turned out a little bit different. They're all over the map. Yeah, I know. How the hell did you stumble onto this? People don't get to stumble onto this. YouTube has very much made it extremely difficult to find my channel. especially this one, because I don't know what I have, like 300 subs on here. My other channel got kiboshed at about 6,500 subs, and that was almost 3 years ago. I don't get any new subs. It just hovers at 6,500. Yeah, yeah, guard. I did a lot of whiteboard lectures, very very directed, and I didn't have notes. It was still the way I do this, off the top of my head of things I knew, but it was with a very specific intention to teach about, perhaps the etymology of why a house and the names of a wall is a wall and a floor is a floor and a roof is a roof, and the reason behind those words and what it has to do with angles and uh, the etymological construct of language and the esoterics of the alphabet. And so I would do like an hour-long whiteboard and draw things out, and that was, I don't know how many videos I have like that, maybe 400. No idea. You have, oh, the one law in my house here is you do not redact your messages. How dare you? Oh yeah, really? That's cool. Well, glad you found this stuff. Where are you from? Where is your locale? Where do you reside? And so, oddly enough, as I'm sitting here just chiefing down some hookah and getting a little shit faced on vodka, I teach all about health and nutrition and where that, even the language in there, and healthy diets, and oddly enough, there's some sacred herbal and healing beers and sacred tobacco and all sorts of different elements that we talk about. And fasting. If you don't know about fasting, you've met somebody that's fasted for longer than anybody you ever met in your life. Anybody that you know that's fasted for a couple days, there's probably one person in this room. There's probably one person within 100 miles. Besides, well, I don't even know. I don't know who's done a longer fast than me. Maybe 1,000 people on the planet. Norway. Ah, Norwegian. Well, cheers. Cheers to some. What do you guys drink in Norway? Are you vodka culture? Are you with the vodka and the saunas? Oh yeah, Super Tramp. And if you can't tell, it's 6 o'clock here, 6 o'clock p.m. And I live in New Orleans, which is a northern Caribbean city. It's not quite in the United States. I mean, it is, but most people I don't think agree with that. Vodka and lemonade. Let's do it. Yeah, and Supertramp. Yeah, there's a lot of different things that I covered in my early videos, and I re-released some around Christmas time, and go. I'm gonna go over some of my earlier ones that are locked up, and I'm gonna unlock them for you guys, so you can revisit my popular videos, the ones that have many views, tens and tens of thousands. Even some of the bigger ones are oddly, when it's bigger, then more people will find it. But then I was just like, I even took those down. So now I got these little ones where at least I have an ardent community of people that come and pay attention, because you guys know what the fuck's up. Baca. Church Bells is right across the street. So across the street is a really cool church, and next door is a cemetery. Jonaman. Oh, you have 12 days for 4 years. That's wicked. That's awesome. I did not know that. Cool shit, man. I don't know when the last time I've done a long fast was. I've done a lot of short ones recently, but no extended ones. Water and piss, boy. That's what's that. That's what's up. Oh yeah, the blueprints for reality. I don't even know that they're all still available. Although I will look at them and see which ones are locked and unlock them. A relief from the back of the eye socket pain like a strained eye. Um, did you strain anything? Did you get anything in your eye? Do you have any problem with your cornea or your retina, or do you have any eyesight issues, or is it's a pain? Hmm. I would do. I would start off with using eye bright, cayenne. Yes, cayenne in your eye, and piss. Warm piss. Get an eye cup. Cayenne and eye bright. I would start there, but then depending on what it is and why it's hurts, it could be a strain or it could be perhaps, I don't know if you have you had any sinus or ear infection or any problems in here, because that can, you could have something bacterial perhaps. It's obviously I don't know anything about your diet, what you've been doing or what you've been going through, so it's really hard to to diagnose what the dilemma is and how to fix it. But certainly, eye bright is a good idea. And the other things that I would advise you to do, hit me up on TheoLuminous at Gmail, and I can give you more explicit instructions that might be a little bit more in depth and profound that I wouldn't suggest here. What up? What up, Manfar? What you doing? Have I done a grape juice fast? No, but it would be a great thing to do. I mean, I've done fruit juice fasts, which definitely included a lot of grapes, and grapes are red grapes. Well, excuse me, darker grapes like purple grapes, blue grapes. Blue things are really good for immunity, and also Concord grapes are why they make uh, Manischewitz, the Irish or the Jewish wine, because in the Concord grapes is supposed to be a lot of monoatomic gold, or at least gold. I don't know if it's monoatomic, but that's why that's so good. I don't know that it still is that way, but that was the purpose of Concord grapes. They're really, I mean, think of all of ancient Egypt. What are they always drinking? They're drinking dark red wine, and the grapes of why it takes 7 years to grow them, and why grapes always get turned into wine. I mean, it's their association. There's a big, why did they have all the healing bowls of using crystals? Well, those crystal bowls, they were always putting their wine into it and then structuring it and consuming it. Yeah, the Bates method. Bates is good. Years ago, I just recall the name and saying it was a good idea. Also, read the book by Chuboy. Um, what is his name? Give me a second here. Aldous Huxley. Everybody thinks Aldous Huxley and thinks Brave New World. He wrote a book prior to that because he was what he was into, and he was like, everybody thinks of him as Aldous Huxley and wrote this crazy book, but he's a scientific dude. He was into a lot of other things, and he wrote a book called The Art of Seeing. I believe it's called The Art of Seeing. Check that out. Junie, Junie, I love how you said, "May I put the playlist link here in the chat?" No, you can't. You can't because you asked. You cannot. You could put a link to a double dong dildo, and I wouldn't care. You could put a link to an Amazon for a for the fuckbot 2000. I don't care. Of course. Amen far. What do you mean surreal swathing? Good word, swathing. I'm gonna have to look that up. I mean, I kind of contextually, I think I know what that is. That like not quite swooning, because swooning would be like if there's a chick there and you're kind of swooning right over swathing. Isn't it? Isn't it's kind of like I feel like that's a piratey word. Yeah, I'm in far. I try to not put on my golden tunic, my robe, in my giant auric field and come across as some genie or guru or demigod, and so I can be accessible. I have to come across as a bumbling, stumbling idiot sometimes, so that way I can talk to people. I can't just walk around like I am. I can't just leave my hair down every day and wear my golden breastplate. Yeah, Junie, were you gonna put the playlist? Or oh, that's the name. Yeah, that's the name of it. And sorry if it seems like this song has been playing over and over again, because I assume it has. We're going to something else. We're gonna do what we did yesterday. I'm gonna go to a bunch of music, uh, and you guys are gonna be like, "Your music sucks, dude." Which I must reply again. It's not my music. I didn't do this. I was trying to interact with you guys. I just needed background noise. Hey, Amar, Amenfar, where are you from? Are you Amenfar? I'm thinking you're from Thailand. Would I be right? Would it be Thailand? Or I'm not quite getting Middle Eastern or Egyptian. No, I mean, and if you're not from there, is that in your blood? Is that your heritage? Super Trev, you think Divine would beat you in a pissing contest? Wait, do I know you? Do you know me from? So, are you talking about Savan Bomar, like the Resistance, like back in when he wrote the original bronze version and just came out with his. Do you know me from there, or did you just say Resistance? Like, hmm, hmm. See if this is okay. This might be it. Ah, the UK. Okay. And yeah, no idea it's going to be. Are you from the UK? UK massive. UK massive. Ah, you're from Earth. Yeah, of course. I mean, far. Yeah, I was getting Thai or some lower part of Africa. So there we go. You guys in here? Ooh. Oh, man, you. Wow, that's crazy. You remember that post? You know what's funny about that? Um, when I posted that, that was years and years ago. It was right before Savan really kind of popped off and became the Savan Bomar. You know what I mean? And became that enigma. I had wrote that specifically, well, not specifically to him or for him, but part of it was we were having a conversation, and he asked me to do a show with him. And this is well before I even was writing for my Zen Alchemist WordPress, and before, obviously, before I felt anywhere comfortable even talking to humans in general. Like, I mean, I shoot the shit with anybody, but to talk like, burp God, talk like I do and act like this, and to be on camera, no fucking way. I was like, dude, I would love having a conversation with you, but there's no, I'm not even equipped. I'm not versed. I mean, I'm versed in the idea, but how I get to talk to Savan was my idea. Even then, he was still, at that point, I think I'd already listened to him for 7 or 8 years, almost exclusively. I listened to everything he ever said, which I think to this point, even now, we probably are in different vantage points of clean water and what water is. I think we probably differ. I do, however, don't see a problem with adding specific minerals and things to water as long as you know what they are and what the purpose is. But as a general rule, I'm not putting salt in water. You know, that's kind of a major underpinning of my theory, my understanding. I ain't no idea. We'll never know what. What won't you ever know? What? Because these always show up a little later, and I don't know what I said. Oh yeah, I didn't read the second part. Amen. For it upset lots of mineral putter inners. Yeah, to this day still do. I still piss people off. Now I piss people off in a lot more ways. I like to. I don't like to. It comes with being this and knowing what I know. I'm piss people off on both sides in any realm. I'm gonna piss somebody off. I mean, not me personally. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to. It just so happens that what they know is trash. Not my fault. Yeah, Menfar, UK native, and yeah, he did not say what his ancestry was specifically. Do you have a skin tone? Do you have a dialect? Do you know your I don't want to say deepest ancestors because I assume you do, but your maybe family for a couple generations. Oh no, no idea. I don't. I really doubt that. I doubt that that's what it was. Some people like they're doing other things. So usually whenever I'm asking questions, they might be doing something else, or sometimes it just doesn't post. You know how the shit works on here. It's hard. It's hard enough to get people in here, and then when they do, who knows? Who knows if the posts even show up? Hmm. Oops. Hey, Buggy's in there. Cool. See, I think I should do a whole show. I'm just just like this. You can't wear your hat like that. You can't be all you can't have your hat all crooked and know anything. When you think you're some sort of G'd up gangster, you must be stupid. You must not know shit. What's up, Caleb? Hey, Caleb's here. You wanna do a shot? You ready to go? You get this game started? What's the game? I don't know, but we'll get it started. I look like a gnome. I don't think I'm a gnome type. Um, I'm too tall. You got a beer? Okay, I'll fill this glass up. Does it feel weird seeing Seven go slightly cheesy? Well, I haven't really watched much of his stuff lately, but he has his audience because it's bigger. He has to do things to keep it. He's a talkative motherfucker. He's got things to say. He knows a lot of things. He's an esotericist. You know what I mean? And he's got to keep bringing that level of whatever it is. Let's keep that knowledge. Let's talk about the same thing 1,000 different ways, and I get it. So I don't really know. He had to build. He's got bills to pay. He's got his empire and his life to live. Yeah, I mean, in a sense, but if I had the capacity, and somebody was sitting next to me right here, and they could load me up a screen behind me, and then put a bunch of info here and pictures and shit, and wanted me to somewhat organize what I'm saying, and not have just a back and forth with you guys all the time, I would do that. Would I sell products? Probably. Yeah, I would sell things. I mean, it wouldn't just be for the purpose of building an empire. I mean, it would be because and what he's selling for the most part is pretty rad that I've seen. He believes in it. He sees it. He's been out of body. He's been in other realms. I've seen him out of body plenty of times. I think he knows that. I've interacted with him. What did I? Oh, it's over here. Shot time. Oops. So no, I mean, everybody's gonna make their evolution on camera, and how they are and their persona. Once you're kind of popular, you feed on that, and you become more of a character of yourself. You characterize yourself, and then you become a character of a character. And I get that, how that happens to people. And you said Michael TsarXen? Hold on. Is there other question here? Michael TsarXen? How does someone with that... politricks in this knowledge. I've always liked Michael Tsarian, but again, these are people that I would put. If you looked at a video of mine called my 33, because gotta screw with people, my 33 favorite teachers, most influential teachers, they're both in there without question. Give me 1 second. And I haven't really followed much of anything they've done recently, so I can't really comment on that. But Tsarian, a huge base of Irish origins, black magic, esoteric knowledge that I dig the mess out of. So I don't know about Tsarian so much. Well, that's somebody that it's really hard to mimic what he's doing. No one's going to be able to mimic Savan, and no one's going to be able to mimic Tsarian in any way. Not even because they have too much of a knowledge base in so many things, and very, very well equipped in what they're talking about. Cheers, cheers. Um, I mean, there's a lot of them, a lot of the teachers that I've had out there, that once you reach a certain level, you're going to have more and more types of magnetic resonance to people and to things that are good, that are helping you, and others that want to suck you in and eat off of you, and that are influencing, that you might find is something good that goes into your business model. It looks like it fits, and you participate with it, and you're not going to escape that. Like anybody with a small business that turns into big business, at some point, somewhere, somehow, there's not going to be every aspect to someone's person, their character, their being, to their business that's going to be 100%. How to put it? I'm a large person. I have a huge mind. I'm going to contradict myself at times, and I accept that. So we can't really hold everyone 100% accountable for everything, because I change my mind all the time. Some of the base things are probably not, but these people are going to be. As soon as you reach a certain point, you're going to be influenced to say things and that seem to go right along with it, not seeing that maybe that's not working with the whole package. It doesn't really fit in there. But then again, I haven't seen much that I disagree with from the earlier stuff. Let me see if I can find that music from yesterday that we listened to that I was really digging the shit out of. Maybe it's this one. Cheers. Guys ready for some tunage? Hey, let me go get another call because I'm just burning through these. And cheers to whoever's doing shots with me, because I get 2.5 shots out of this. Oh wow. So anybody that wants to come to New Orleans, we do no shots during Mardi Gras. We don't do shots. We can get a bottle, we can sip out a bottle, I don't care. No shots anywhere. We're drinking beer, and yeah. Ugh. Can't get too messy. Especially considering Mardi Gras parades. See, stumbling. Some start at 11 a.m. So, and people are already out there. It gets sloppy. Hey, Amen Far, let me get this coal, and then I'll try to answer your query. All right, let me see if I can. Is the word surmise or is the word summarize? I think surmise is correct, but whatever. Let me see if I can get to the point of why. And this will be. I use myself as a counterpoint, counterbalance to this idea. With anybody that has big channels. Before I get to your question completely, I can't sell a lot of things because the information I provide would make it, because it's so easy to fix a lot of things, and it wouldn't cost you doing any type of commerce and business with me. If I told, like, let me make it simple. If somebody says, "Hey, how can I fix my bowels?" I'm like, "Well, I don't have a special. I haven't marketed and put together a bag of the special formula. I just like get these things. Now, could I put those into a bag and sell it to you? Maybe I should do that, because you got to get it from somewhere. But if I was like, somebody's like, "Oh, I got a problem with a certain part of me," and I was like, "Hey, drink your piss." I can't sell you my piss. I'm not going to sell you my piss. Somebody's like, "I have a problem with this or that or whatever thing." I was like, Shivan Bukampo, just drink your piss. Where's the money? Anything anybody says about health related things, consciousness related things, getting out of body, I can't sell you something to get out of body. I can tell you what substances they might be. Do you need the? Maybe I buy the plants and sell you the plant. I mean, perhaps, but as a general rule, to have a marketplace of all the things that I would do and sell, yeah, of course you can use these herbs, and of course you can use these plants and this animal product, and of course you can use these things, and I could make a big thing about it. But if you just want to get right to the base source material, what am I going to sell you? Distilled water? I'm not selling distillers. I can't sell you water. You already have it. I'm not going to sell you your urine. Should I start a company and sell distillers? Perhaps. Should I bag up the wormwood and the cinnamon bark and the fibers and insoluble? Should I put the herb formula together for your kidneys? Should I sell you the oil and the acidic things that help clean out your bowels? Should I sell you the type of coffee that will help you do a proper coffee enema? Yeah, all those could work. But in reality, I would just be like, let's just drink your piss. drink some clean water. Go exercise. Go get some sunshine. Can I sell you sunshine? No. I could sell you sunshine in a remember the Gorillas? The sunshine in a anybody know that song? So for everybody else, they have money to be made, businesses to run, family to feed, house to live in, their goodies, And I just that's not my that's not it's just not my thing. So you said how was Michael fooled for Trump and populist leaders like you did with all? I can't really answer that because I don't know how he was fooled or what he's putting out there. So was there ever a pressure doing camera from writing? Yeah, certainly. I don't now I love the sound of my voice. Now I don't have a problem with being on camera. I don't mind. I never minded what I look like. I have good days and bad days like anybody else. I don't have body dysphoria. I don't think I'm a 10. I'm fine. But there was a time I was like, I don't want to be on camera. And there was a time that I was like, I don't like the sound of my voice. Perhaps because of all the times that you'd have your phone and you'd be like, oh, hey, please leave a message after the tone. And you would have to do it like 10 times because it doesn't sound right. I didn't like the sound of my voice. So going from writing to that, big transition. And then going from talking, not being on camera, to then being on camera, huge transition. Now I prefer it. It's easier. And I think it speaks more volumes by seeing me, hearing me, and making an association. And the way I talk is kind of how I write in that WordPress. That's not even how I write, really. If you want me to write something, like to sell it as a book, like here's, publish it, put the periods where they need to be, it's wildly different. I think I'm a better writer that way, but I don't like doing that. I like writing the way I wrote in the WordPress, which takes some of the way that my mind functions and the way that I talk, and I try to make it at least digestible when someone's reading it, even though it's difficult to transition from a thought that's complex and wildly varied in the ideas and trying to link things together and then put it on a piece of paper and then make it in a short form. I'd rather just speak it because then I can talk for 2 hours, where writing would take me, you'd have to read a whole fucking book for what I'm saying in 6 hours of talking. Oh, okay. Let me try to read this again. So you're talking about Michael TsarXen, fool for Trump and populist leaders. I don't know what his position is on it. I don't. My only position on that is one of hope that there is somewhat of a differentiation between what you might call the Democratic, slightly communistic party and the Republican, more Americana capitalist party. There's a difference there, and what is wrong with each of them and what is right with each of them. Like, surely I would hope that the ideas that your boy Trump put forward is a little better than what this jack of ass is doing. I don't even know, whatever the whole thing is. To me, the whole thing is a charade. The whole thing is part of the same system. So I don't know. I don't really care about what either of them are saying. I would hope that perhaps there is a antithesis or an antigen to the dialectic that's being produced right now, and there'll be the poison that's being produced right now. Hopefully there's a panacea, not necessarily because of Trump or a Republican or a separate party that's on the opposite side, but you know, it does seem, if he did side with that, it seems obviously way better than what's going on. You know, like now it's so stark of a reality where in politics before you could just go, yeah, red, blue, left, right. That's probably better. This guy's an asshole. Now it's fucking blatantly clear that even if that dude is slightly a jackass Trump, that this shit that's going on right now is, I will not stand for this. So I could see in contrast, if you're using contrast, then this is the biggest contrast you could ever imagine. That's interesting to me. Again, we're talking about Michael TsarXen, right? I don't know how he could be, in the sense that, isn't he Irish? Doesn't he live in the United Kingdom or something? Doesn't he live over there? I don't know where he lives. I don't know. How can you support a political party not in your country or state or, you know, area, right? You could side with some of the larger ideas. I could side with some ideas within the Republican Party and and not Joe Biden or any of these people. They're complete asinine fools. But some of the larger constructs and ideas I agree with. It would probably go. It would be hard to vocalize to anyone because there's such a stark reality between. Well, if you say anything there, you are with that. And if you say anything over there, you're with that. But that's not true. But certainly, there's things that I could take from both of their. You take little pieces. It's what politicians do. They take truth to tell lies. Comedians use lies to tell truth. So within their truths that they use, there are truths within that I could go, okay, those are the truths. So, and some people could just get into it and go, okay, it's so corrupt and bizarre, and call it evil if you want, what's going on. I mean, let's just get into it a little deeper. What's higher form than government? What runs the government? Media. What's higher form than media? Pharmaceuticals. I think they're about the same. I care not. What's higher form than that? Finances. But they're all linked together intrinsically. What's more powerful than anything? Magic and words, which means the media would probably be even more powerful than the ideas of money, of leveraging, because you can leverage things. But pharmaceuticals, that's a tough one because people become very addicted to the substance, but that substance is only marketed through using the media. The media could convince people to stop consuming what they consume, even if it was pharmaceuticals or poisonous product. They could. So thus the most powerful thing, and the media controls the narrative of the strength of the dollar based on perception of the substance, the drug, the food, the perception that is formed by the media, the people that talk, even navigate the waters of finances and money. How much is that money worth? How much is that worth? You could convince somebody that something is worth more than it is or less than it is, including the addictive drugs that they're on. So, media, governments down here, money, and pharmaceuticals. So the magicians are doing it. So wherever the governments, they're well beneath. They're just lower level, repeating the dialectic and the grimoire of the larger magicians. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'm sure it does. Who was it that said, I care not who controls the laws if I control the money? You know, because the money then will end up controlling the laws. Well, I care not who controls the money if I control the media. Media influences everything. Uh, People listen to Joe Rogan. People listen to. They used to listen to CNN, Fox, and stuff, and Joe Rogan. So his influence has increased. So his influence of anything, he could influence people to not buy something. He could influence, which controls money. He could influence people to buy something. So his influence, which comes through the media, if you gave me a larger audience, would I not control money? I control money for myself and for other people. So money takes a secondary status to the influence of your perception of what that will purchase and what something is worth. Now, could I give you a drug that would make you want something more? A physical object that you consume, like a pill or a wafer in your church? Why else would they market drugs on television? Why do you go to church to listen to someone talk if that spell is being cast? Signs and symbols and sigils and such. Yeah, you can speak those things, or you could use them as insignia. Use them as super sigils. It's your influence. It's the influence of ideas, and a sigil can encompass one one image of a sigil, like a picture is worth 1,000 words kind of idea. So, but that that image, that sigil, that icon, is still encompasses all those words. A Nike swoosh, a Saturn's ring, still, that image still projects a bunch of images, which are words. I mean, the image is even more important, but it still produces all of this language and these ideas of things to people, even though it's one thing. If you just go, stamp it, that's Nike. Now all of a sudden that's worth $1,000. The shoes are worth $100, right? But I could build you the same shoe and it doesn't say Nike on the side. It's worth $10. Why? Because that image then conveys the idea that you've seen on the television, that everybody, the cool kids wearing those, it's on the TV, all of these words that are rattling around, like that's gonna get me this and this is gonna do, and this is the things, and it's all images. Image is the most powerful, then the language, then, and that's within the media. The media controls the image and the word. Oh yeah, who we doing? Who we doing shots with here? Drinks, drink motherfucker, drink motherfucker, drink. Up to it, down to it. A buddy of mine that I've known for shit. It's so weird. We always go like, how long have we known each other? And it's somebody that maybe 7 years. And he does this every time we drink. We do this toast. Not every time because we're always drinking. But it starts up to it, down to it. I believe it's I do it because I'm used to it. Drink motherfucker, drink. But there's something in the middle there, and we do it all the time. But I think it's because we're already so drunk. I can never remember it. And he's so perfect on saying it. Does anybody know this cheers? I don't know if it's from his people because he's native. I don't know if it's from Chicago because that's where he's from. I don't know if it's just something that he heard somewhere. I don't know what it is, but it's So anybody want to look? Are you gonna make me look this up? What time is it here? Almost 7 p.m. Almost 7. Oh, here we go. Should I play the drums? Bow, 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 bow. Give me 1 second, y'all. So it's got to be, what is it, like midnight where you are? It's got to be about 12. Allagash? I don't know that I've ever had an Allagash. I've heard the name many times of the beer, but it's beer, right? Here's the toast, and I'll give it to you. Oh, it's by the Uncle Billy Roach Band? Now I'm gonna have to look up the song. Oh shit. Oh, is it? Eh? Unless it's just a then there's Benjamin Earl Turner. Oh, you know what I think it is? Because he was in, I think he was in the Navy. He was in one of the armed services. I don't know why. This is another thing that, like, I know about him so well, but I think it's just because I'm not sitting next to him that I forget. I think he was in the Navy. A lot of good cheer. Okay, well, apparently I'm not gonna find it right now, so you don't get any of the armed forces cheers, but there's a lot of good ones that I just read. So just drink, I guess, motherfucker. Drink, motherfucker. Drink, motherfucker. Drink. Lao Tzu! Sorry if you guys don't like it, but I'm the moralist. Was Confucius a moralist? Was he? I don't know. Some of you might have an understanding of labeling this, but what do you think? Who do you think I'm closest in line with of all of the philosophers? On which one? Like, am I in the moralist category? Am I in the? What do you think? What do you think the foundation for my philosophy on life comes from? Is it closer to some shit that Alan Watts might say? That the speak of the I Ching, the changes of everything. Should I speak of an absolute? I don't know. Guard, what is skull? SKAL. I'm drink. There's a vodka that is with skull vodka. Hey, cheers. Black cherry Mike's. Oh man, I love hard lemonade. It's a little too sweet for me, Mike's, but I like it. I haven't had it in a while. So cider, hard lemonade, and anything cherry in it, I like a lot. Ah, yeah, more of the Alan Watts. Well, I mean, I think so too, for a good portion of it, because I have a very similar lifestyle, and in a lot of respects, and I like how he still lived life. He was like, I think it's like, it's kind of maybe judge not lest be judged kind of thing. Ah, toast of Norwegian. Okay, and I think out of anybody, I've listened to Alan Watts. I would say Alan Watts is up there. Savan is up there, oddly enough. Neville Goddard, but that's not for necessarily. He does have quite a bit of philosophy, but more technique based to create the realm, to create your life. Where Alan was more like how to enjoy it once you've created it. What do you mean? It seems to be. What's that say? that is one of my favorites too. Bucky Fuller. Bucky Fuller was a big influence. Yeah, we don't really escape these two things, seeming to be. We don't escape that. There doesn't seem to be a lot of factual things in the world. As Neville Goddard said, the world is overrun with facts. There's not enough creativity, exploration, and let's see about the subjective view of the world. And you don't escape the Tao, that everything is God, everything is changing, everything is in motion, that it seems to be that you don't really know. Those things are pretty much those are the hardened facts that you don't know, which is a dichotomous statement in the sense that well, how can you say it's factual if you don't know? Well, that is what's factual. A fact is you don't know. That's confusing. Colin Carey, could I outdrink and outsmoke Alan Watts? I don't put my ego on my drinking. I'm a good drinker. I get loose. I get drunk as fuck. But drink for drink, I can drink with most people. And I like the statement of I am. Because I am this, I am that. In any moment, it could be anything. Oh, I'm such a fool. Oh, I'm a god. Oh, I've made a mistake. Oh, this is correct. There's always there's always something, but that something is something new. Newness and freshness seems to be the thing. Whatever that is. Infinite variety of perception. Well, thank you, Amen. Far. In the sense that I'm not egotistical. I'm egotistical in this sense. That this hat that I'm wearing, because I like it and I like what it looks like, and the way I have my beard and the way that I talk, I like it, and I like the way my mind works, and I like the things. I'm comfortable in my ego, but I'm not gonna let my ego take me outside of what I feel. So my feelings and my thoughts influence whether or not my ego will do anything. Yeah, they're like, "Oh, you're like that. Why don't you do that?" Like, "Why I don't want to do that right now?" Because the I am comes before anything I put. I am my ego, sure, but my ego comes after whatever I am. So if I'm I first, that's me. I don't know what it is. Part of it's my ego. But is it going to get in the way of me going, "Oh, I was wrong about that," or "Oh, I'm certainly right about this," or is it going? It doesn't influence how righteous or wrong or goofy or drunk or sober or whatever. That's all secondary things. But yeah. I mean, thank you. Yeah, I'm just not interested in all the because there's obligations to titles, and titles. When I see when somebody says, "Oh, that's Doctor So and So," or "That's Mister or Mrs." I'm like, "No, who are you?" And really, when I say "Who are you," like, how are you? What is it about you? I don't remember most people's names because I think even a name another secondary title, Mister or Doctor or whatever you want to put in front of you. That's I don't I'm not gonna call you that. I'm not gonna say Doctor. You know, you aren't Doctor. If there's 50 people that are Doctor So and So, they're not all doctors, then, are they? I need one. Who's the one doctor? Who's that? It's too direct, and oh well, he's a doctor. I can go down to the store. I need my car fixed, and I can go to somebody that works on cars, right? I go to an engineer to get something done. But if I go to a mechanic, I say, okay, mechanic John. But then there's mechanic Bob, and some of those mechanics don't know what they're doing. And some of them are very good at what they're doing. But if I just call them both mechanics, I would assume they're both exactly the same. And that's just not true. Hey, Divine, here's to it, down to it. Damn the man that can't do it. Shove it over here to me because I'm used to it. That's Divine. That's very close to the cheers that he gives. Yeah, here's to it, up to it, down to it. Something, something, something. I do it because I'm used to it. I think there's one more verse. There's one line and one verse that I'm missing, and then there's drink, motherfucker, drink. And I don't know why I can't remember it. Caleb, talk about emotions and feelings. Sure. Let me. I feel like I should grab this here and make a drink. There's a wild difference between emotions and feelings. And I think people assume they're similar or the same, and they're not even close. And people use them oftentimes as if they're analogous. They're an analog to each other, they're not. And here's how I'll break that one down. A feeling A feeling is literally if I tap you with a stick, that when it hits you, you feel that. You feel that. If I kick you in your nuts, if I kick you in the shin, if I give you a kiss, if I rub your back, if you eat something, all of those senses. See if I can make this maybe I can make this better than I usually say it. Your senses give you your feelings. Your sense of, you can see, you can hear, you can taste, you can touch, you can smell. Those senses are your feelings. Whereas your emotions are your mental belief system connected to that feeling. Your emotions are what you think about your feelings. You emote to something, so you have an emotion. So, some people, you could try to give them a hug, and they're off put by it because they don't want to be touched, because earlier in their life, maybe they had a creepy uncle that hugged them. So they've associated the feeling, because if they were to remove their mind, the feeling of being hugged is lovely. There's no denying that. But some people don't want to be hugged because their emotion, their mind, their thoughts, the equation of the good or bad of the past or the good or bad of the future has interrupted their feeling. You could say it in another way. People that are in bondage and sadomasochism. People that are into whips and chains, and people that like to be choked out during sex or want to be beat and spanked and punched and violence, sex and violence. And people that want violence, they have interrupted the feeling of whatever the simple thing is. Close your eyes, your ears, your mouth, feel being touched. That feeling has been interrupted by the emotion. So emotions always get in the way of feelings. Yeah, last night, yeah, fun times, huh? Yeah, Divine, getting close. Yeah, so I said no idea. Maybe what I just said counters that slightly. Feelings are present now. Now. There's your feeling. There it is. Touch this. That's your feeling. That's what you're getting. Rub that thing. Touch yourself. Exist in the moment. Feelings are momentary. Your emotions can be carried on to ideas, to thoughts, to perceptions. Some people like dogs, some people don't. Why? In my world, fucking dogs are awesome. I want to pet them and play with them all the time. I don't care that sometimes I've been bit by a dog 3 times. I can tell you why, it's the owner's fault. It's because the dog wasn't trained properly. But do I hate the dog? Do I let my emotions get in the way of the next time I see a dog? That I'm gonna be like scared of it? Because my emotion will get in the way of the fact that I feel like, oh my god, my feeling is I want to play with this thing and it's so awesome. I'm not gonna let my emotions get in the way of that. Because my mind, while it's a useful tool to speak, if I didn't have my mind, I couldn't talk to you. It's a useful tool. It's a very splendid tool. It can oftentimes override what your feeling is. Ha 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 ha. Hey, Divine, I'll use that. Well, it'd be hard for me because the second half, I don't have a second half of life. I just have one everlasting life. And none of those little rugrats will get in the way. But yeah, I dig it. Drink to the first half, ruined by our parents. The second half, ruined by our children. Oh, hey, Divine, I didn't know it was a tavern. It was literally a tavern? That's awesome. That's cool as shit. You know what I would do? If I had an old tavern, I would go through all of these uh, all of these cheers, all of these and I would you know how women now it's the pop thing to go to Walmart or Target and get yourself a love life and blah blah blah, you know, that kind of bullshit. I would get the old ones and I would print those out. Well, I would probably have somebody get an old piece of wood and, you know, I can't put that on the wall. I'd have hundreds of them. You know, I think that would be pretty dope. Be an old tavern, so that if somebody can't think of what are we drinking to, well, fucking pick one. It's on the wall. There'd be hundreds of them. Amen far. It's full moon still. Yes, yes, yes. Well, divine. Here's the thing: is you don't drink, but if we were hanging out, you would drink. I'd make sure of it. A lot of things I don't do, but I will do. But then I don't do them all the time. It's not me. I don't do that. Just because you've done something doesn't mean you do it. Just because you've been something doesn't mean you are something. Just because you will be something doesn't mean you are right now. Shit, I don't know how to. I'm not a. I'm not a welder. I could learn how to weld. I'd be a welder. Now I'm not, but I could be. And then I could learn. I could have learned how to weld, and I don't do it anymore. Am I a welder? No. Yeah, live, love, laugh. Fart, barf, and hey, how about is that a fart, barf, and plunge? How about fart, barf, and purge? That was trash, that song. Somebody could have just jumped in there and be like, your fucking music sucks, dude. I mean, you don't have to be so hard about it. You don't have to say that. Yeah, I mean, and again, you know what? I would also have live, laugh, and love. Because despite the fact that it's so overstated and corny, is it wrong? I would get rid of the live part because you live anyways. Loving and laughing are two things that a lot of people don't do. It would be like, how about I would probably just get rid of the live part. Live is a redundant statement. You're living if you're here. I mean, a lot of people are dead inside and not really living. I would get rid of live and maybe like, how about fart? Fart, laugh, and purge. I like that one too. Squat, poop, or die civilized. Hey, we could think of new. How about this? You guys want to help? You guys want to help me? Do you want to help me? Here's how you can help me. And you can help yourself at the same time. Because I put this out here a while ago that I want to start because there's a way for me to earn an income. Even though I don't live for an income, I live for an outcome. If you guys want to, you know, it's nice if you just donate because that's great too. But maybe I can make T-shirts that will say something as ridiculous as "Live, Love, Laugh." Right? That's a stupid T-shirt just right off the bat because no one wears that. I'll make that one, but let's make something like that, like poop, fart, diarrhea. I don't know, just stupid shit like that. And then we'll get these hilarious shirts. A friend of mine has a screen printer, and I can go screen print these bitches and sell them. I won't sell them to you guys. I'll sell them, I guess, whatever. You guys can buy them from me. So instead of going to wherever the hell you go to get T-shirts, you need a new shirt, and I'll print anything you want on it. Not anything, but I probably if we come up with something good, I'll do like 10 of them, and then I'll raffle one off or give one away, and then you guys can buy the rest. Yeah, Divine, I like that one. The dilemma with the really long ones, even if you're toasting to something, is the longer it is, the more possibility you're gonna screw it up. I can't even repeat my own jokes. I can't repeat my own lyrics writing. If I have poems that I've read 1,000 times that I wrote, lyrics that I've written, that I could never do it. A friend of mine who is an amazing artist, singer, and in a band, and pretty popping off right now. He's like, I can't even remember my own songs. He's like, I have to really go out of my way. And he's like, I wrote this and I've rehearsed it and I've played it before. He's like, I have to go over it and do it again. And he's like, and there's covers that they'll do. He's like, I literally have to go over the cover multiple times before I even attempt to do it. Like if I'm doing it tonight, he's like, I gotta do it. I gotta have to. He's like, I've heard it 1,000 times. I can't remember it. I'm the same way. So right now, while there are no T-shirts available, there will be some available in the future. And if you guys want to, 8 hours yesterday, 3.5 hours so far. Not good at math, but I think that's 11.5 hours. If you guys want to, you guys don't have to make up for the what I should be paid per hour, which would probably be like $100 an hour. So that's probably like I should buy $1,100. But if you guys want to put a dime, a nickel, a dollar, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo is in the description box. I really appreciate it. That's how I get by. I don't sell shit, although I might in the future. There's a little token, a little icon, a little what does that have no idol worship, nothing to worship, but you could have like an idol, an iconograph of something that I've produced with your help, and we'll sell that in the future. But for now, if you want to, donations are acceptable. TSAR, capital XEN, that's Cash App and PayPal, and Venmo is Zen-Atman-1. That's me. Put the monies in there. It's very easy to do. You don't have to put a lot. You can. If you got lots and you want it, as we were talking about earlier, if you got 100 and you put 10 in there, that's not too much off of your back, and that helps me a lot. And it also allows me to do this continually, because this does cost me money. The phone, the roof, the music. I'm really surprised. I don't know if they got rid of it or it's just because my channel doesn't have enough subs yet. But I don't get the party. I don't get the party button on here. You know, I used to have that party button. Boom. That one? That one? This one? Cool. Black and white? Or is it sepia tone? Switching it up a little bit. Oh! Well, well, well. Let's see what we got in here. Cheers. Mm. Lime or lemon and vodka. So good. What do you think it is about humans that we consume hot peppers? What do you think it is about humans? I don't know, maybe it's not humans. Why do we consume alcohol? It's a fermentation, it's a process, and it becomes something different, something new. But I mean, the things that would be a little bizarre and off-putting at first, bitter things. Who you don't just put a bitter thing in your mouth and go, yeah, I like that. You kind of, I like bitter as long as it's with something. There are some things that I like that are just specifically bitter. I know it's very healthy, but like, why hot things? There's nothing enjoyable about a hot thing except when your blood starts moving and it's like a endorphin rush. Endolphin rush. Um, Take the edge off and taste. I mean, the first time you drank beer, did you like it? The first time I drank wine, my dilemma was it doesn't taste like I always thought it would. I drank red wine. I was like, what is this? I drank beer and I was like, this is disgusting. Why do people drink this? And I never drank enough of it to begin with to get the edge off because I didn't know that there was an edge that I had or something. So that didn't make sense to me. And the wine, I always assumed would taste like port wine. And the day that I drank a good port wine, I was like, holy shit. My entire life, I thought that wine all tasted like this. And I would drink white and reds and all different shit and whatever. And go, this is it's okay. And then I drank an expensive bottle of good red wine. I was like, oh, this is good. But it was only after having tasted port wine and going, this is what I imagined wine to taste like forever. Beer, I thoroughly enjoy now. I thoroughly enjoy the flavor of it. Not all of it, but I do enjoy beer. Ha ha ha. Hey, MN5, well, good to see you. Glad you could join us and enjoy and party. Enjoy joining the party of nincompoopery and nonsense, belligerency, foolishness, some intelligence, some humor. Thanks for showing up. Yeah. Yeah, beer does have a refreshing quality about it. Not only when you drink it, like the taste and the whole thing, but then you when people are like, oh, you're drinking early, why are you having a drink? It's like, why? My question usually is, why aren't you? Why are you so stuck up? They're like why did you drink a coffee in the morning? Why did you eat the sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin? That doesn't seem good. And you gonna qualify me because I had a martini for breakfast? Bullshit. I think it's healthier to have a drink, a beer for breakfast than it is to have whatever you call breakfast. I think your breakfast is shit. I think it's garbage. I think it's trash. I don't think it's healthy. Test me on this. Who do you think's healthier? Find me another 42-year-old that eats breakfast and thinks they're doing something healthy. Thinks they're doing something healthy, and then they'll eat their breakfast, and I'll have a dirty, hot martini at 8 a.m. Who do you think's in better shape? Who's you know what I mean? Like what? Don't hey, eat your cheese sausages. Eat your eat your pancakes. I don't care. But like, do you think it's really better? I don't know. I disagree. Yeah, I never thought about why I'm so stuck up. Maybe you're spazzing out because you got too much. You're caffeinated, too much, like fake white sugar, too much. You get in the more you wake. You're not supposed to wake up in the morning and be fucking zooted. You're supposed to wake up every morning like it's Sunday morning and eating banana pancakes. Wake up slow. Didn't John Mayer, was it Jack Johnson? It was Jack Johnson, not John Mayer. So wake up slow. Like it's Sunday morning. Have some banana pancakes. What the hell are you doing? You don't rush into things. You don't just wake up and be like, time to fucking cav. If you're drinking a coffee in the morning, my suggestion to you, go ahead and just fucking blow lines of cocaine. What's the difference? Not much. Coffee's a little cheaper. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's why people don't do cocaine in the morning. Beer pair. Dimension. It does for most people. I don't like beer with pizza. I'll eat pizza after beer because you got to. I don't I don't like to pair beer with any food. If it's gonna be something, I pair wine with foods. Beer is a standalone creature for me. I will drink a beer with perhaps potatoes, French fries. That's American food, I guess. But I don't like it. I don't necessarily like it when I'm eating. I'm eating. If I got a burger, I'm getting a beer because I want to wash my mouth out and like. But oh no, no. I mean, I get it why everybody else does. It is a very American thing to do. It's just not my damn thing. High Dimension. Yeah, go listen. Hey, anybody that hasn't heard the song, put it on right now. I'd put it on for you, but YouTube will not allow for this kind of crass behavior that I put someone else's music on, as if 4 hours into a video I'm using it for because Jack Johnson's banana pancakes is why I made this whole entire video. Go look it up. It's a pretty good song. Well, to mention, and you're right too, as long as the beer, and if we're being really clear on it, if the beer is done right, meaning after it's, hold on a second, after you ferment it and you got that beer, you don't filter it. If you leave the beer unfiltered and leave all the good stuff in there, it's going to help you digest it. It's the same reason rich people drink a digestif. You drink the digestif, and you drink an aperitif. An aperitif has all of these different bitter elements that cause the stomach to produce more acids, so that way you can digest the food. And then when you're done with the meal, you drink a digestif to help you digest it. Boom! It's logical. It makes sense. You drink before the meal, aperitif, gets your appetite, get your appetite going. As you're eating, you consume usually a wine that helps you again because of the acids and the compounds in it. It help you digest the food, and then when you're done, you drink the digestif, which further helps you. I mean, if your stomach has a bunch of acid in it, what is it doing? Why wouldn't you help it? You have three major drinks during a meal. That'd be the intelligent thing to do. Dimension. If I'm at a restaurant eating food, what do I do? Mm, I probably, I'll probably drink iced tea. I'll probably drink. I'm definitely not drinking water. Fuck that. That's terrible, for a billion reasons. But usually with the meal, the flavor wise, and I don't really consume much liquid if I'm eating. I'd do it after. But if the beer is there, and I'm going from eating a chicken wing to eating French fries, I'll probably drink a beer in the middle, just to change my palate. Not for any intelligent reason. I would drink a cola, Pepsi, Coke, whatever, Dr. Pepper. Yeah, I'll drink that. That's fine. I mean, obviously, I'd rather have it the way it should be made, without the high fructose and with the correct herbs in it and da 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 da. But taste wise, and because I kind of like it, probably that. I'm gonna refill this again. You guys ready? Shots. Shot. Shots. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Shots time. And also, I'm gonna piss. Oh shit! Hold on a second. Uh oh. Somebody may have gotten. Somebody may have got poisoned. Car accident. Died. Choked on a chicken bone. There's an ambulance across the street. Uh oh. Shot time. I don't know what y'all doing, but get your cups together. I don't know why you need cups, but get your cup, get your singular cup and fill it up with something. I'll be back in 36 seconds. Just getting this shot together and you know what I mean? Yeah, I think you know what I mean. Honestly, leaving the ego out of this, gotta say, I'm probably one of the most brilliant, intelligent, hilarious, entertaining people on the planet. I just gotta say it. Dimensions. Shisha is molasses mainly. Like that's classical way to make shisha as far as I've looked at it. She is molasses. You can do it with honey. You can do it with any kind of super sugary substance. You flavor it, tobacco. You can use different herbs. Like there's herbal shisha. I've made my own shisha before. Just green tea. You take tea leaves. You can take anything you wanted and put molasses and a flavor in there. I've taken orange rinds, orange juice, honey, and you mix it up, and and also there's one other thing that helps it get a nice cloud and smoke to it is oh, what the hell is stuff called? It's a G word. It's that clear stuff that's very viscous that they put in smoke they put it in smokable things that everybody smokes their tobacco out the pens these days. What the hell is this stuff called? Glycol? No. Well, yeah, there's two types of glycol, right? Plant based, and another one is like a weird chemical based thing. You can use that now. That was not popular years ago, so maybe they used a little bit of oil. I don't know, but it's standard is molasses and tobacco. That's pretty much it. If you really got right to it, it's tobacco, molasses, put it in there, and then you can use honey. You can use all sorts of different flavors. Demet, you said your dog was like, "What's that hookah sound?" Yeah, yeah. So yeah, adding other herbs, sure. I mean, you could mix it all together. I mean, I used to go to this hookah joint, and we'd stay there after it was closed. My buddy owned the place, and we would smoke all the stuff. That was pretty cool. And it is a nice little because you're not getting all of the whatever we put in there. Could be other substances besides just weed. So like weed and tobacco, and then it's not just like because it's you get a little blend of everything, all sorts of different things, and you can use name it. I mean, if it's an herb, you put it in there. Anything that will combust. Sage is probably cool. I've never gone too far out of bounds of using tea and tobacco, but yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I'd use the blends that I make just for roll ups with sage, and I put cinnamon in there. I've put nutmeg. I put all sorts of different flavors. But yeah, you can anything you want. Some will obviously have a little bit of a effect. Some things that we don't really consider psychedelics, but catnip. Catnip's one. Cat. Everybody's like, oh, why is the cat acting all wild? You don't think that has a little effect on the human condition as well? Well, again, catnip, just like any other herb, the longer it's been sitting on the shelf, the less the oils, the less anything that you get that's fresh and right from there, it's gonna have more of the chemicals in it. And some things you get that are just spent and there's nothing left. Bay leaves. Yeah, I mean, isn't it interesting? They say you put the bay leaves in, then you take them out because at a certain point they're psychoactive and they also can be poisonous, which is really strange. Because like everybody's like, put bay leaves in your soup. Like, well, what is that really doing? That's two leaves. Oh no, it adds a certain round flavor to it. And they're like, you look at it and then it's like bay leaves are poison, even though they're really not. Hey, so whoever's here, let's it's 4 hours. let's do this. Let me go and use the potty, and then we'll come back to the party. I gotta make one. I gotta make one text messagey phone call, and I gotta take a dump. So how about this? If you guys want to, what time is it here? Let me see again. It's like 7:30. Let's say like 8, early 8 o'clock my time. So like half an hour. I'll come back, and we'll continue this journey on, and we'll have some fun. Spark up a bowl, drink something. I'll find some new music, and we'll hang out. So for anybody that's here, anybody that's new, anybody that just showed up, it's already been 4 hours in, so we'll be back in like half an hour, and we'll dick around some more, have some chats. It's good to see everybody. And as per usual, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, if you want to help me out to keep this thing on, and keep some shisha in my pipe, and keep a beer in front of me, and keep this roof over my head, and keep me here entertaining you for hours on end and educating you on things, feel free. TSAR, capital XEN, that's PayPal, and Venmo is ZEN-ATMAN-1, the number, not, you don't have to spell it out. And you can look at it in the description box beneath and help me out. Appreciate it. Good to see you guys. Take care of yourselves, because this is your journey. Enjoy it as much as you can. And when you have some spilling out of your cup, when it all flows over, take that and give it to your friends, family, and people that are in need and require some assistance. And in this case, if you got dollars, send it my way. Thanks. Bye. Until next time, which will be about half an hour from now. Toodles, everybody. Good to see you, Dimension and Divine, and anybody else is left in the room in the background. Bye, bots. Peace out, no idea. I'll be back in a little bit.